And what a shot from Kirica, taking that off the ceiling, underneath the ball, and straight down the middle.
Oh, there it is, out of the blue!
2 seconds left on the clock and the Joker finds something out of nothing!
Now, that pass from Shadow was immaculate, playing it straight down center. Hecky just had to get a touch, and it's all he needed.
Sonic has a chance, it's an open net if he sees it. Looking for the shot downfield, goes into the corner, Kilogram! He gets the goal!
They're just in front of the net. Nuke barely keeps it out there. It dies on the goal line. The last shot, it finds it through. Entity gonna pick it up.
Hey, and we are live once again, and this time it's our Week 5 broadcast of RSC Season 3. And once again, you are not going to be seeing Greybeard here tonight. I am taking over duties as host. Again, you might ask, why is Greybeard not here? Well, he is saving his energy for a 12-hour stream tomorrow, and I'll tell you all about it shortly. But before we get started, welcome everybody. There isn't too many people in the chat just yet, so I'll just greet our fellow casters because they're very cool, and sponsor Bubusz. Thank you for chatting. Yoshi's not here for once to claim that first title, so I claimed that for myself. So before we get into it, I do want to thank our sponsors. And first of all, big shout out to Nixa for sponsoring the season's prize pool, 18,000 Rand split across all 4 tiers. Big ups to them. And of course, not missing a beat, the reason our stream is as smooth and sexy as my face this evening, Genisus Extreme. They have been putting together an immaculate broadcast so far, so also massive big ups to them. And also, before we get into the big meat of this evening, I just want to remind you that the RSC Rebellion starts on Saturday. It is going to be the group stage where the league super teams Brodenite, Bomb Squad, and the Alliance take on the Rebel franchises, the Rejects and Replacements. So if you don't know what is going on, it is basically all of the people who were signed to a team going against all of the free agents. The free agents was something to prove against the guys who have been taking it all easy in their comfy little teams. So it will get heated. Saturday won't be streamed, unfortunately, because Greybeard will be, too tired from his 12-hour stream. But the final series next week on Saturday the 19th will be streamed, where you will see every single final. Now, moving on quickly, just a quick mention. The Mythic Challenge is going on right now, and House Red Dragon needs your help. If you haven't signed up already, go to the ACGL website, sign up for House Red Dragon to help Rocket League get a 20K tournament. The community is involved. If you don't know about it, follow Altruism on Twitter, follow Greybeard on Twitter, and it's pretty much all that's been spoken about right now. A massive drive again is happening tomorrow where we will try and take out PC Game Pass, Call of Duty. They are currently in the lead. I know these points aren't entirely accurate, but I will give you an update on them. But it's not looking good because Call of Duty is currently in the lead, and we need to change that. And last but not least, if you haven't already and you would like to get your hands on this season's merch designed by our very own They look great. They come in 4 colors and all proceeds go straight back into the league. This is not something you want to miss. I think I'm going to be grabbing one of every color. I know Greybeard will probably only choose the black one because, you know, it makes his beard pop. And, you know, when he wears the white one, it just, you know, gets lost. So, sorry, Greybeard, I know you're watching. That wasn't on purpose. Maybe it was. But certainly don't miss out. It's going to be fantastic. So let's have a look at the calendar quickly. And we are smack bang in the middle of the season. And first thing you'll notice is that those little icons indicating who's won each week, every single week leading up. First week was DSQ, then it was Dynasty, then it was DSQ, then it was DSQ again. So week 5 is all about who can topple the red hot form of DSQ. So week 5, smack bang in the middle, and we've got some absolute clanger series to bring to you tonight. We've got a Masters, we've got a Prospect, we've got a rival. No, we've got an elite and another elite. But let's have a look at the standings quick. DSQ on top from last week, having played 72, 149, and only lost 23. That's a win rate of 68%. That was better than my maths mark in Mutschuk. But close by is Bro Community, then Critical Force, then Dynasty, and XP. And it gets a little bit closer the lower you get, but Order of Okes, Redirect, and UnitOx, and even for Templar languishing in 10th, still have something to prove. We are only halfway, but it is setting itself up to be immense. DSQ with a positive game difference of 47. So what we're going to be looking at tonight is DSQ Merim versus the XP Devourers. That is a master game, and then followed by the Prospect Jokers from Dynasty and Redirect Accelerate, and then moving on to Elite Shadow Darkness versus Order of Okes Rawlers, and then again Dynasty Queens in Elite versus Critical Force Delta Force. So it is going to be action packed this evening, and I am excited. So without further ado, I would love to introduce to you Rhino Costs and Lolanizer. How are you doing?
Oh, we are so very well, Bromeo. All the better for being on the desk with yourself. A huge night of action coming our way, and we can't wait to get involved with some of it.
And
yes.
I was just gonna say before your inner thoughts got there, Lolanizer, how are we doing? How are we feeling about this night? It's the first time I think I've seen you on the desk first off the bat. So you excited to be here?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to be here. Usually don't get the first off the bat because I'm a little busy usually at 7, but I am very excited. Got some very solid matchups coming up our first 2. I'm so excited. And as mentioned, I'm joined by the goated caster, Rhino Cost. I mean, everyone loves him. Absolute legend on the other side there. So I'm definitely really excited for this one.
So it is going to be pretty intense. You guys have a master game straight off the bat, and that means it's going to be high octane from the absolute get-go. And Rhino, I know you're a seasoned campaigner by now, but are you ready for it?
Oh, I mean, no one is ever ready for a master game off the bat, right? So you want to be able to warm into things, but today we've got to get stuck in right off the gate. It's going to be DSQ versus XP. It's going to be a big game. XP coming in with something to prove. And so I think it's going to be a really entertaining game for sure. And I'm sure that myself and Lolanizer, by the time we get there, we're going to be very, very ready to go.
Well, without further ado, I will let you boys have at it. Game number 1 is coming your way.
It certainly is. Lolly, get excited. There you go on the screen. It's DSQ Merim versus XP Devourers. 2 sides that have had a very, very different beginning to the season. But it has to be said, XP Devourers currently sat with 3 ties to their name and only 1 loss. Still yet to find a win yet so far this season. Could tonight be the night, Lolly?
You know, it very well could be. They do have, as you mentioned, they've got quite a lot of proof compared to their opponents of DSQ Murram. You know, Murram, they've come through, they've been dominating the entire season, as we've seen. They're sitting first in the Master leaderboard, and Devour's sitting there ninth. So they definitely have a lot to prove, but they definitely have the ability to pull through, and get their very first win, as you mentioned, of their RSC Season 3 so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be difficult for them going against the DSQ Murram side, who there you see it, top of the table, 75% win percentage, and they are looking so good in the first half of this season. But as already mentioned, Lolly, we are starting to get towards the second half, the back half of the season. It feels like we just started and we're already at the mid-season. There's a lot of games to be played yet, and there's a lot of games to be won.
Oh, definitely it does. The time of this RSC season has definitely been flying by. And, you know, sometimes the performers that do the best at the start of the season lack a little bit on the late season. So I am curious if DSQ is going to keep up this amazing momentum they've had so far over the start of the season, or if that's going to start to fall off, or if XP are going to bring up their own momentum and start getting their wins.
Yeah, here you see it. Zeph, Jeff, Gold Ninja, and Arid taking DSQ to heights rarely seen in the RSC. They've been playing incredibly well. A very rounded, balanced team. Not too big a difference in CMV, which has really worked in their favor so far this season, Lolly.
Oh, definitely. That is something I do want to mention, is when you look at the stats power ranking, Jeff is the only one in any of these players are in the top 10, yet DSQ is still sitting there as the first team. Just shows that this even player base between all four of the players on the roster, it allows them all to perform very similar to each other and know what each other are going to be doing. Just allows them to get a little bit tighter rotations and a little bit more confidence in each other, and that clearly has been working really well for them.
Yeah, it certainly has. Only lost 4 games all season. It's going to be very tough to topple this DSQ side. But it's going to be XP who go against them tonight. The Devourers trying to devour DSQ. And I mentioned earlier that the DSQ roster was a very balanced team. I mean, look at this XP Esports team. That is incredibly balanced as well. Less than 20 CMV between the top and the third player. They just haven't got it going yet this season.
Yeah, definitely. They haven't quite found the rhythm that DSQ Murram have been able to get into. But as you mentioned, they have what it takes. They have the ability to pull that through. And I rarely want to see them make a shift here in the late season and get themselves higher up on the leaderboard and get into maybe playoffs.
Well, it's all going to start with a game here tonight against DSQ Murram. Lolly, I've got to ask you, do you have a prediction for this game tonight?
Oh, my predictions are always terrible. Every time I make one, they go the complete other way. So I'm gonna just keep it very even. 2-2. Even game.
Now, you've stolen my prediction there. I was also gonna back a 2-2 draw. So I think I'm gonna have to choose one side of the fence to go onto. I think DSQ Murram are going to be able to continue the run that they've had. I think it's difficult to bet against them. I do think Devourers are going to get a game, though. I think that roster is very good, so I think it's going to be a 3-1 in favor of DSQ. But there's only one way to find out exactly what's going to happen, and that's by playing 4 games of Rocket League, Lolly. Are you ready for this action?
Oh, yes, I am. I've been waiting for that the whole day. See which of these two teams can bring themselves into the win, maybe a draw.
See which one's able to do so. It's going to be Jeff looking for a teammate. Douglas takes it off him. Going to be now from Gold Ninja, cleared away by Banana Cap for the moment as Jeff goes by, and Zeph will have to try and recover. Passes up to Gold Ninja, but Douglas still taking the ball forwards, and it's a shot there from Banana. Not quite going to be able to find the shot on goal just yet, but a lot of pressure at the moment from XP, and if they can keep that up, the goal will come very shortly, you would imagine.
Oh yeah, But as you mentioned, that DSQ big clear downfield. GoldNinja doing what he can to keep this ball around. It does get in possession of Vows. Maybe an opportunity. I like the bump attempt from Rahu. Couldn't find it though. So Ducla's big touch from it. Banana Cat is up for that. Can't quite find it though. Zeph now, huge clear downfield for DSQ once again. Both teams, they're getting a couple opportunities, but nothing significant just yet.
Clear the ball back away. It's going to be cleared away by Zeph for the moment, and GoldNinja's been taken out in the back lines. It's going to be irrelevant. Jeff taking it forwards. You mentioned he's in the top 10. Oh, he's going to take a shot there. It's cleared away by Ducklers for the moment. And Rahu going to take a shot here. Zeph not going to be able to get across his goal line. And it's XP Devourers taking the first goal.
That is something extremely good for them coming into the first game against such a powerhouse of the team, at least according to the rankings. Getting that first goal means a lot in terms of their momentum. Nanakat is going to try push that pressure, maybe get an extra one. Jeff though, keeps it away. Now Duclas trying to keep control in Val's hands. Little bump from Jeff on the backboard, maybe an opportunity for DSQ. Beautiful save though from Rahu. I believe he's not a South African player either, so just representing for the hyping players.
Absolutely. Banana going to move across. It's going to be a chance for Rahu. Oh, there's a team bump in the back lines. Maybe a chance there. Goes begging. Rahu takes another shot. And this XP aggression, the way that they're able to get this field domination is so impressive right now. Rahu off the backboard, trying to get something going. DSQ, they look absolutely lost at sea, really struggling to deal with the Devourers right now with just under 3 minutes left, but that's a big clearance. DSQ gonna need to make it work. Gonna need to find something soon.
Oh, definitely. Getting the ball back into your half though with the Devourers on it. It's not the way to do that. Jeff's gonna try to push it downfield. Can't quite get it. Rahu now, maybe the opportunity. Nice shot coming through. Beautifully done at XP. They managed to find a second goal.
Yeah, it's Rahu finding that top left corner, and it's just too powerful for Zeph to deal with. Tries to get the clearance. And I'm not sure there are too many in chat who would have had this scoreline in the first half of game number 1 between these two sides. But it is XP Devourers 2, DSQ Merum 0. And yeah, wow, this could start the charge of XP up the leaderboard if they're able to keep this performance rolling.
Definitely Zeph though. He's going to try to take those words out of your mouth. Beautiful flip reset. Duclas though keeps it out. Now GoldNinja. All around. DSQ, they're starting to get a bit of pressure. It's not quite as threatening as what from XP had. Little clear coming through Banana Cat. Gonna try push it out a little bit further. Ball's just gonna hover around a little bit. Nice clear, but lands up just in Jeff's hands. Jeff unable to touch it. Now it's GoldNinja. Progress to play a little bit further for DSQ. Kept away once again. Jeff flips right past one, maybe for the bump. Nice shot from Zeph. Oh, it's gonna find its way through top shelves. DSQ, fine, they're first.
Yeah, and it's a goal that kind of comes from nothing. Zeph and Ducklers there on the spot and just not able to get up in time. That is going to be 2-1, and now all of a sudden the DSQ Merum comeback can begin. It's going to be Ducklers now trying to take this one forwards. Gets the better of one, but loses out to GoldNinja. Banana down that right-hand side. Needs a second touch from a teammate. Will find it off the post. Oh, XP Esports really would have liked to have put more daylight between themselves and DSQ. They're not able to do so, and will they rue that missed chance?
They would have loved that extra goal. Zeph gonna look for the pass backwards, I guess. Will land up. Duclas looking for the shot. Will be GoldNinja to control. The touch is a little bit awkward off the backboard. Could have been an awkward position there for DSQ though. Jeff gets to clear out. Rahu staying around. Beautiful shot. Jeff keeps up on the backboard. Nanakat on that immediately. Tap down. There's Duclas for the shot. XP. They're fighting each other. They get themselves a 2-goal back. A 2-goal lead back.
Yeah, Ducklers tried to get that clearance on the backboard. Just not forthcoming. And as you say, daylight found again. 2 goals clear. RXP Devourers. Still a minute left. Still time for DSQ to get back in it. But the way they're playing at the moment, they are not going to find that result. They will need to find something that they've not been able to find for 4 minutes of Rocket League so far. As this ball cleared away, Rahu backboard, double touches, backboard again. No teammates coming in to capitalize, and maybe that's Just a bit of game management from the Devourer's side. If they needed the goal, I'm sure one of them would have been pressed up. But since they have that 2-goal advantage, it's probably a little more intelligent for both players to stay back and make sure that counter-attack doesn't come through.
Definitely. And now XP maybe going to find an extra one here. Fourth for the road. Maybe Jeff will get there first. Taps to the corner. 20 seconds left. XP don't have too much hope to get a win here anymore. But they can at least try get one for the road. A little demo coming through on the defense line. The ball is sitting very awkward. Maybe XP will find an extra. The momentum from XP is gaining. That is 4-1 now. DSQ not doing as expected.
Yeah, it's a real concern now for DSQ as Devourers 4-1 to the good with 5 seconds left. As you mentioned, game 1 is all but wrapped up. It's just about how many, and maybe Rahu wants an extra one. Jeff gonna clear that one away. They're gonna keep it up. XP want to twist the knife, so to say. They really want to make DSQ Merum feel their presence. Although DSQ might be able to get a goal back here for momentum going into game 2. Not going to happen just yet. These Master players keeping the ball in the air. As the ball comes off the backboard, should be cleared away, and it will. The ball will drop. And there is game number 1 done. XP Devourers showing up here in week 5.
Oh, yes, they have. Starting off the series absolutely beautifully. See there, Raha. I don't know how to say that name. Rahu. There we go. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Rahu there, 600 points. You know, he played pretty well, but the whole of XP did. They were sitting, they were rotating well together. They were getting very good pressure. They were just holding DSQ back and not allowing them to do what they do to get themselves that win.
Yeah, just look at those shots at the end there. What, 13 shots on XP to 4 from DSQ? That's a really poor offensive performance from DSQ Merum. A side, by the way, that have been playing very well in offense this season, though I say very well. 31 goals scored across the season is actually towards the bottom of the league, so maybe that offense is starting to get a little bit found out.
Maybe. I'm curious to see what's going to happen here in game 2, whether or not that was DSQ doing a little bit of a warm-up match, or if it is that late season, you know, getting tired, having played for 4 weeks already. Late season can be a pretty difficult. See what happens here in game 2. Non-account on that immediately, looking for the touch of the backboard. Will be there. Gold Ninja gets the clear out. Maybe the follow-up will be Rahu. Great touch of the backboard, 2+. Having to the side, maybe the pass to mid. Gold Ninja there first. 2+ is going to keep it around, keep the pressure going for the Devourers. And now XP find themselves a little bit of a clear.
It's now going to Jeff. Putting this one into the corner and cleared away. Zeph tries to get a shot here. Gold Ninja's going to try and turn. No, Rahu there on the spot to clear it away. And now Ducklers beats 1. Can't get past the second just yet, but is picking up boost as he goes. Wants the bump, not going to find it. Banana tries to keep the pressure on, will be cleared away by Gold Ninja. Zeph now looking for the pass back to Gold Ninja. It's not a shot on target, but Jeff comes in from deep, needs a double, won't be found. Zeph, the third man, pressure is coming in, but XP, they stand up to the task, and the scoreline remains 0-0.
0-0 indeed. Merum, they're starting to get some convincing pressure going through. Jeff now looks to get through once again. Douglas, big touch to the backboard. Gold Ninja will be the first one to that. Touch just goes mid though. Douglas there. Banana can for the shot. Not quite landing it in the net though. Douglas going to keep it around. Will be kept away this time by Jeff. Zeph big clear downfield. The DSQ somehow have not been scored on.
Yeah, I tell you what, if the Devourers were able to finish their goals there, I mean, they kind of buried DSQ in the first game under a mountain of goals, but now DSQ are going to try and do the same thing down the other end. It's Zeph to get on the scoreboard. Bottom left-hand corner is found, and Rahu thought he was going onto the top shelf. Turns out he was going low and left. 1-0 DSQ.
1-0, 3:30 left. Vowels are going to have to bring back what they had in game 1. DSQ though, starting to get that momentum. Beautiful pass, and Jeff is there for the shot. DSQ, they started to feel themselves. They find the 2-goal lead pretty early on.
Yeah, it's the rhyming couple of Zeph to Jeff, and it's Jeff to convert. We hear he's been a little bit nerfed in this game, playing only on about 10 frames per second, is what we're being told. We have not had that confirmed, but he does get the goal there. Banana Cat going to try and get this one moving forwards. It's 2 goals for the good from DSQ, and we saw that XP Devourers getting that lead in game number 1 was enough for them to see that game through. But will it be enough for DSQ? XP, you know they're not going to go down without a fight, and they've got 3 minutes to fight back. Still plenty of time, as it's going to be Rahu trying to challenge that one. Jeff off the top, going to go to Gold Ninja, who takes a shot away for the moment by Ducklers, but it's not a brilliant clearance. Backboard needs a second touch, dealt with by XP once again, and they try and build the counter now.
Bowers, they do get a ball down the field. Will be Merv to get control. Banana Cat now tapping it to the backboard. Gold Ninja keeping it away. Once again, Devours, they're starting to get some pressure, but none of it has been too convincing just yet. Duklas, big touch backboard. Maybe an opportunity. Nice pass down, but Zeph will be the first one to that ball. Banana Cat staying on it, looking to keep the ball in the hands of XP. That, unfortunately, will not quite work, though. Goes right back down to their half. 2 minutes left. Devours, they have quite a lot of work left with them. And DSQ, they're not letting off the throttle just yet.
What a shot that was from Steph, but an even better save from Banana Cat. Big demo in the back line. Going to be Banana Cat moving downfield, but intercepted by Jeff, who now try and read where Rahu wants to go and reads it perfectly. Ball onto the backboard for DSQ, cleared away for the moment. Gold Ninja to collect, no double touches, so Rahu will take forwards, pass into Banana Cat, but Jeff is there to meet it. Great work, and I've been doing some research, Lolly, and it actually turns out we have statistically the 2 worst attacks in the league right now. The 2 lowest goal scorers across the league so far, but DSQ are trying to bump those numbers up with a wonderful 3rd goal, and it's Zeph who I believe gets his 2nd of the game.
You know, Zeph heard you complaining about the lack of goals and immediately decided to shut you up. DSQ, 3-0. Bowers, 1 minute 20 left. It is technically possible. Otherwise, it will be tied series so far. Let's see if Duklas can do anything. Gets the pass out, going to Banana Cat. Banana Cat looking for the return back. Takes out one. Will be cleared away this time by Gold Ninja. Jeff, good looking for the shot. Rahu gets the save on one. Gold Ninja staying on it once again. Big touch backboard. Banana Cat needs to get control. Does that well. Gold Ninja keeping it around.
Oh.
Banana Cat, that was scary, but he keeps it away.
Oh.
And XP, they find themselves a counterattack. I like the bump threat coming from Rahu. Making sure Zeph is a little bit too awkward to find that ball and pushes it through for Devourers to get their 1st goal of the game.
Yeah, being a menace, just trying to get in front of that ball. 50 seconds left on the clock. If XP can get another goal here, momentum will firmly be in their favor, but they must do it now. Banana Cat will find the goal as well, and game number 2 has suddenly come alive.
Game 2 certainly reborn. Beautiful recovery from Banana Cat and the shots. 1 goal is all that separates them from being back to the tied game. There's still 42 seconds left on the clock. That kickoff, though, will not be what they want. So DSQ find the 2-goal lead once again.
Yeah, it's a nice kickoff win. Gold Ninja finding the bottom right-hand corner. It was Jeff on the kickoff as well. A kickoff goal was exactly not what XP wanted. They will need to find a couple of their own in the next 40 seconds if they are to have a say in this game now. But hang on a moment, Douglas at the back post needs this one off the backboard, sends it a little too far. Rahu has to try and recalibrate, does get it back towards net, and it's going to be sent clear by Banana Cat off the backboard. Chance now, Gold Ninja will be there with a clearance. Rahu coming in from deep. Banana Cat wants to follow that one and gets bumped away. And with 15 seconds left, DSQ, I think, have managed to shut down game number 2. But it was way more tricky than maybe they would have liked it to have been.
Oh, definitely. Maybe a big shot coming through. Zeph looking good. Another shot down for Merv. Shot will be on target, but not quite finding its way into the net. XP, they started to get some momentum at the end. They started to get it going, but DSQ found that kickoff goal and immediately shut them down. But that could have been a very big last 30 seconds of this game.
Yeah, it really could. I mean, you can see the field domination there, but I'm informed that the graph is correct, not the numbers. So XP had more of the field domination, I believe, than DSQ. It just, in the end, didn't work out into a position where they could get the goals. And, I mean, you look at the shots again. 9 shots for DSQ, 10 shots for XP. Super even as far as attack goes. And that makes for a very interesting series. DSQ not running away with it as most people would have expected, Lolly. And that is down to XP playing very well indeed.
Oh, definitely. But also, if you look at those stats, it was also pretty even on the saves. However, DSQ just happened to have 2 more saves than XP had. And that just so happened to be the same scoreline difference that we saw there.
There you go. I mean, sometimes that is it. All comes down to that defense. And I spoke to you earlier about the fact that DSQ have the best defense in the league. Only 21 goals conceded across 16 games. They will need to keep up that defensive record if they're going to beat XP tonight, because they have absolutely come in with a game plan, which is to try and attack this DSQ side, as it's going to be a chance. Oh, what a save on the goal line from Banana Cat to keep the scoreline level early in game 3.
Might be an opportunity here for Douglas. Will be cleared away by Zeph, though. Douglas trying to keep that around. Gets in control for XP. Jeff, though, on that immediately, maybe from the pass mid. Fakes out one. The ball's hovering in front of the net. A Gold Ninja is there for the dunk. 30 seconds in, and DSQ finds the first goal.
From the first second of game number 3, it felt like DSQ had a renewed invigoration for the game. And there is Gold Ninja finding the bottom right-hand corner after reading exactly what XP, my apologies, wanted to do. And now it's all for XP to try and get back into this game once again. DSQ started game 2 quickly. They've started game 3 just as sharply. And now the Devourers are scratching their heads a little bit. They are a little bit confused, you would think, as to how this has befallen them once again. But they are going to try and fight back, you have no doubts. And with 4 minutes left on the clock, they have plenty of time to do so.
Definitely, and they do know that they can do it. Jeff, I like that reset. Will be cleared away. But as I was saying, XP, they know that they have the capability. They had that early lead in game 1. Banana Cat tries to get the shot. Maybe an awkward spot here. There's a shot coming from Douglas. There it is, XP. Backing up what I was saying, they know they have what it takes to keep this game even and to bring themselves into that lead. Douglas showing exactly that as he finds the first goal for Devourers here in game 3.
Yeah, I believe it was Zeph trying to scramble across his goal line for DSQ. Not going to be able to get there. And it's a great goal from Douglas to keep his team in the game. But all of a sudden, DSQ once again coming back towards the XP net. A great save, an early save by Rahu, as it's going to be Gold Ninja trying to keep this one in the favor of DSQ. And Jeff, big challenge, big demo coming out from XP, and now you can see them starting to march up the field. It's a little bit too heavy from Douglas. Back in from Banana Cat. Gold Ninja taking his time and will find Jeff, who will try and get around the side. He actually fakes out one. Now trying to get past the second, the ball across the field, but no one there to tap it home. DSQ pressuring well, but not finding the goal that puts them back in the lead just yet.
Definitely, they're holding the pressure really well, but here comes XP. Banana Cat shot not quite where he wanted it. Douglas, big touch to the backboard. Maybe another opportunity here for XP. Rahu, maybe looking for the shot. Zeth will keep it away. Gold Ninja now onto the backboard. Looking for some control, looking for a clear. Does get past Banana Cat, gets bumped away for his efforts. Douglas, big touch to the backboard. Jeff, there for the read. Now DSQ, they're finding themselves on the receiving hand of that pressure that they had early on.
Yeah, now it's going to be a chance for DSQ to get the counter-attack, though. Backboard is in. Jeff finds the net, as he has done so many times for DSQ Meram this season already. Zeph off the backboard. It's the rhyming connection again. Douglas tried to get the clearance, but DSQ Meram were not to be denied. 2-1.
2-1, 2 minutes 30 left. All the time is on the clock for XP to bring it back. Can they do it? Rahu, big touch back to Banana Cat. Will be sent to the backboard. A little bit awkward for XP there on the defense. Zeph will look for an opportunity. Now it's 2+. Just has to get a big flick over Jeff. Jeff was on that immediately, though. The speed on the pre-jump. Too close, trying to get rid of DSQ from the field. Doesn't work, and Jeff finds the ball right back into XP's half.
Yeah, it's going to be Banana Cat moving around the side. It's a chance now for Jeff. Moving up the right-hand side, trying to flick inside, but it's going to be cleared away by Douglas for the moment. Jeff going to look for a teammate, catches, flicks it. Banana Cat will be equal to it, and we'll get the clearance. Counter-attack chance for XP, but he gets bumped away by Jeff. Gold Ninja just trying to keep that possession for DSQ Merrim, and that's something they're so good at doing, DSQ, is that reset. Moving the ball back towards their own net, collecting it themselves, and then recycling, moving back down the field. They've done it there, but hang on a moment. XP are getting back on the attack off the backboard, cleared away by DSQ for the moment once again. But XP are building some pressure, building momentum. They're not done in this game number 3 yet.
They're not in deep. Banana Cat looks for the shots on the top end. Jeff, though, clears it away. Big touch onto the backboard will be Gold Ninja. It's the sideboard, follow up by Banana Cat. Maybe an opportunity once again. Rahu can't quite find that one in. 56 seconds left on the clock. XP, they're going to need to find something soon if they wish to keep this one around. There it is. Almost opportunity. Rahu passed out to Douglas. Douglas a little bit too awkward for that one. His touch will go out into the hands of Zeph. 45 seconds left and the board is being cleared right back to your half. Can they find it, Rhino Boy?
They're gonna need to try. That's a nice shot. It's cleared away by Zeph for the moment. Banana Cat back in. 30 seconds on the clock. Jeff moves over to the far side. Will be met by Douglas. I don't think either of them got a touch on the ball. Jeff backboard looking for Gold Ninja. Will take the shot. Will take the goal. And if there was any chance of XP getting back into this game, DSQ might have just shut that door emphatically.
Definitely. Though, it is worth saying the 2-goal lead in 20 seconds could potentially be broken if it's a good kickoff. Not quite, though. Maybe the opportunity will come from it. Jeff will clear it away. 13 seconds left on the clock, DSQ. They've pretty much confirmed, signed, and sealed game number 3 and have, at the very least, a draw in the series.
Looks to be the case. Ball will drop. DSQ, they take the victory. They looked a little shaky in game number 1. It looked like it was going to be a long night for them, but they have really found their form. They've settled into their rhythm, and now you can see that pretty much every metric goes in the way of DSQ. Once again, outside of shots. It's going to be 9 on the side of XP, 8 on the side of DSQ. So XP is still moving forwards. They're still trying to get those goals. They're still pressuring. They're just not able to find the finish, and DSQ are able to find it on most trips towards the XP net.
Very true. Something I'll say, I think DSQ, they've adjusted to this XP roster really well. If you look at game 1, DSQ, they didn't have that much offense. They sat in mostly defense, and that worked into XP's playstyle, but they were able to put on the shots and find gaps in that defense. Now, games 2 and 3, DSQ, they've stepped up that offense. They've brought more shots to that table, and they've started finding the gaps in DSQ's defense, and that has clearly, it's brought them a little bit of an extra advantage into game 2 and 3, and potentially into game 4.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll have to see what happens in game 4. It's going to be the difference between Rhino being right and Lolly being right. Those are the only 2 outcomes that we could possibly find. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, DSQ, they are riding a massive wave of momentum right now. Won the last 2 games. They will be feeling really good going into this one. XP, though, I don't think will be too deterred. They've still played very well in the last 2 games. As I've said, they've just not been able to calibrate that radar, make those goals count. And so it's going to be down to them to try and get a few more shots on target on this occasion. There's one, as it will be Rahu in off the post. Wonderful finish. First goal for XP in game number 4, and it's an important one.
Notices Zeph sitting all the way on the far post. Not even at the net yet. Slams it about as far to the opposite side of the net as he physically could have. XP, first goal. That is something that they needed. A little bit awkward there to defense though. Nanacat did fly right past that ball. Gold Ninja, but just keep it around. Get another opportunity for DSQ. Can't quite find it though. Now it's Jeff. Looking to do the same thing. Maybe find the opportunity mid. Kept away by Rahu. Nanacat wants to get it clear. It's what XP want right now. The ball is sitting so awkwardly in the defensive half. Jeff gonna keep it around. Douglas, not much boost, but he needs to try and get the ball away. Gold Ninja not gonna let that happen with the good demo. Now Zep. Maybe the backboard, the pinch. Just sending it right back to Gold Ninja. The shots coming through DSQ. This pressure, it's constant. It's forcing XP into such awkward spots that they have not yet capitalized.
Yeah, that Devourer's goal seems to have sparked some kind of fire inside DSQ. They are taking shot after shot, pressure after pressure. It's going to be Jeff challenging that one up off the sidewall. Not a lot of boost to work with, so Duckless will be able to send it clear. Gold Ninja can't win the 50. Banana Cat's coming through, but Zeph wins it. Is that going to waterfall? Yes, it will, but Zeph doesn't read it. Jeff comes in from deep. That one's off the ceiling. It's on target. It's away by Rahu. And XP clinging on for dear life to this lead. But at the moment, they are still holding on. And it's still 1-0 to XP, maybe 2. Duckless finds something from nothing. And could this be a snatch and grab for the Devourers?
XP, they've been holding those defensive rotations superbly well. There's been so much pressure from DSQ in the first half of the game so far. Yet Valve, they've just found every single save that's needed to be found. Big clear coming down from Banana Cat. Zeph gonna try to turn this around. Takes out one. Will be Rahu on that ball first. Big touch to the backboard. Douglas, maybe they're for the shot. And XP, they're just pushing this lead further and further away from DSQ.
Yeah, wow, Golden's trying his best to get in the way of that shot. Not gonna find it. And where has this XP Devourers side been for the last 2 games? 3 minutes left on the clock. Still time for DSQ to get back into it. Jeff moves around the side. It's going to be a chance now for DSQ to keep pressing the issue. But the more that they pressure, the more open they are in defense on the counter-attack. And that seems to be where XP is able to strike. So they need to be much more careful about that. Another shot on goal from DSQ. Another time it's pushed away from XP. And this Devourer's performance, it is so impressive. Backboard chance. Rahu gets it away from Jeff, but he doesn't leave without taking a piece of the ball off the ceiling, off the backboard, cleared away by Jeff. DSQ can build another attack. But this XP defense, it's not been pretty, but it has been working.
Definitely has not been pretty. Most of the time, they've been sitting there scrabbling for small pads, but they've found the ball every time they've needed to, and it's kept them alive. Demos coming from DSQ in the backline. Might be an opportunity. Gold Ninja. Pass to Jeff. Jeff looking for the pass back. Can't quite get it. Now Banana Cat once again. No boost. Zeph gets a big touch to the corner. Douglas using every small pad he could find so far to get just a little clear out. And that's what they've been doing this whole game so far. But it has been working against DSQ. Zeph, though, finds an opening in that defense and finds the first goal for Merman in game 4.
Well, is this a matter of the floodgates opening for DSQ? They've had most of the pressure. They've had most of the shots. Will they now be able to find the goals? That's a fake kickoff coming in from DSQ. Jeff with a big clearance. Rahu gets the pass to Banana Cat, who will boom it forwards. Duckless gets bumped away. Jeff now going to try and take this one forwards. It's Banana Cat to send it clear. Zeph is waiting on the halfway line. Oh, he gets the pass to Banana Cat. That's not where he wanted that at all. And no, the floodgates are well and truly closed for business. XP Devourers getting an extra goal, regaining that 3-goal lead. And it's off an unfortunate mistake from Zeph in the midfield.
Oh, yes, and DSQ, now they've got 30 seconds per goal if they wish to bring the series into a win. But with the way Devourers have been keeping every single goal out of their net, that is looking very difficult. Banana Cat looking to push it even further. Jeff now gets a clear out, will be only to the hands of Douglas. Jeff now, big pass mid. Will be Rahu on that first ball. It's a little bit awkward here, a little bit slow around near the XP net. It's been like this quite often during the game. Jeff now, the opportunity for DSQ. 1 minute left on the clock, 3 goals. It's starting to look very difficult for DSQ.
going to be a chance for Gold Ninja to find Jeff, and that's a wonderful passing play for Merum. And maybe, just maybe, that's the way back in. Gold Ninja to Jeff. No defenders, no savior. Zeph coming across the goal line to fake out the fact that he's going to try and save it. Not going to happen as DSQ Merum, they get back on the board, and if they score in the next maybe 30 seconds or so, we may be talking about a very interesting end to game number 4.
Very well could be. That touch from Gold Ninja though is very awkward. Rahu, big clear downfield. Jeff has used just about every single drop of his boost. There's a pass coming through. Do but for the shot. DSQ though, they're not letting it down that easy. 25 seconds left on the clock. Can they find what they need, or will Devours take this one?
Yeah, that 30-second time limit that I mentioned has gone by. So it will be interesting to see. It's going to be Jeff trying to work his way around. Banana Cat reads it well. Zeph doesn't have any boost to work with, so that 50 goes absolutely nowhere. What a flick from Banana Cat. Jeff keeps it out. Rahu back on target. Jeff again. 2 big saves, but they didn't need saves. They needed goals. 0 seconds. Ball drops, and it's honors even as XP Devourers draw with DSQ Merum, a sight that they have been very well accustomed to this season. XP now have 4 draws, 1 loss on this season of RSC SSA, which is quite frankly ridiculous.
That is a lot of draws. And DSQ, they have now gotten their 2nd draw of this RSC season so far. That is very good for the side of XP. They almost have taken down a team of such high standing. Might be a good opening for the late season, and maybe they can bring themselves back in to that top 6 for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely could be. I mean, you look at the stats there, it is actually quite a way in favor of XP. I wasn't expecting that. The shots pretty even from what I can see. The difference is field domination. The ball was much more in XP's half than it was in DSQ's half. But at the end of the day, the only scoreline, the only statistic that matters is the one at the top of the screen. It's 4-2 to XP. And I have to say that Lolly mentioned that he was bad at predictions at the start of this game. Well, that curse has been lifted. 2-2. And Lolanizer gets his prediction right, even though he stole it from me.
It's about time. You know, this is the first time I've decided to say that my prediction's going to be wrong. And now, of course, the RL gods have decided that that is the prediction that is going to be right. But so well done to both these teams, especially XP. They played absolutely phenomenally, and I'm really excited to see what they can bring into their later games, in their next, I think, 3 games of the season.
Yeah, totally agree. Just going to check, do we have a MVP for the series? I believe we normally do. I'm just going to check to see if we have the graphic. If not, I'm going to try and think about who I would give it to, because all 6 players played incredibly well. Lolly, is there a name from that game that stands out to you as deserving of maybe the series MVP?
You know, it is very difficult to put anyone on there, because when I looked at it, pretty much everyone was pretty even, but there it is. It's going to be going to Mr. Jeff. We've seen him. He plays for Unity. He was at Comic-Con. He will be getting series MVP, and he did play extremely well this series.
Yeah, Jeff, the standout player for DSQ Merum, has been all season, and he was again tonight, unable to guide them to the victory. But a big point of Jeff is that 8 saves you see in the middle of your screen. He's everywhere on the field, defense, offense, just trying to help his team out. And there is your series MVP right there. Congratulations to both sides. I mean, Merum are still undefeated on the season, so they're still playing very, very well. And we have some post-series stats for you there. Relatively even across the board, except that shots counter. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
11 more shots for XP. That really surprises me.
That is a huge shots difference. And I mean, when you do add on to that, 40 shots to 11 goals versus 29 shots to 10 goals. Maybe DSQ shots have just been a little bit more convincing.
Could be the case, absolutely. I mean, you look at the saves as well. We talked about the fact that DSQ have one of the best defenses in the league. There's a proof there. 21 saves. They did have 40 shots to try and save, So it does make sense, but they are still putting up numbers in the defense department. And you have to say that may be what got them the win in those 2 games that they did take the victory. Their defense looked very, very solid games 2 and 3.
Definitely, but also when I look at this, I'm pretty sure, I think XP had about 8 saves in game 4, which is majority of their saves the entire series. So maybe that's something they might want to look at putting a little bit more effort into, because they know they can do it. They just didn't do it for half the series.
Yeah, absolutely. But we have discussed the DSQ Meram and XP Devourers game between ourselves, and I've got to wonder what our host has to say about everything that took place. We welcome back in Bromeo. Talk to us about that game. How was it from a spectator's point of view?
You know, game 1, I was sitting there thinking, wow, I really should have put some points on this game. And then game 2 and 3 came along, and DSQ started stomping, and I'm like, okay, all right, my points are safe. And then in the last game, XP come out of nowhere and absolutely dominate again. So, like you said, XP has been drawing all season, and it's really weird because DSQ is the top-ranked side here. That should have been a one-sided game, but it was not. So I think, if this is just just something to look at going forward, XP is a hella dangerous team if they get their consistency going.
I think that's the most important thing there that you mentioned is consistency. I feel like we saw 2 different XPs tonight, one in games 1 and 4 and one in games 2 and 3. It just seems like they weren't quite clicking in those middle games. I mean, you also have to credit DSQ for putting them off their game for certain, because at the end of the day, these guys don't lose, right? DSQ Meram, 0 losses on the season through week 5. That is very, very difficult to do. They found something in those middle 2 games. But yeah, XP, when they looked good, they looked really, really good.
All right. No, it's honestly that. They have been playing really, really good Rocket League, but just not enough to get those wins. But I suppose draws are better than losses. And with that, let's move straight into our interview. I have Douglas with us. Douglas, I see we don't have you on camera, so we'll just have to use this very artistically drawn shadow. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No stress. So the game tonight, take me through it. After game 1, I'm sure you guys were feeling pretty damn good.
Yeah, we were feeling great. After game 1, we felt like we had a lot of momentum going into the next game. Second game, I don't know what happened to that momentum, but we live and we learn.
And then all the way into game 4, you found it again, and you took home, I think that's your 4th draw for the season out of 5 games?
Yes.
Wow.
It feels like somewhat of a curse right now. We can't catch it up. It's just barely managing to draw.
So when they write your book at the end of the season, it's going to be chasing the dub 3 or, something like that.
Something like that.
But overall, how are you feeling about your team, this season? I know that you've been grabbing draws left, right, and center, but what do you think your chances are? I mean, you went against a very strong team tonight who were favored to beat you, so surely that's a decent result.
Yeah, I mean, I think my team is pretty solid overall. I don't think people would view us as one of the stronger teams, but I do think we have the potential to beat most of the stronger teams.
Well, I would not be disappointed with it at all. You are currently placed 9th. I'm sure a draw will pull you up a couple notches. And, from what we've seen tonight, you can definitely box with the best. So is there anything that you're going to be doing differently going forward? Or are you just going to keep on applying the pressure until you finally claim that win?
I think first, I think we need to just play the game a bit more. We don't scrum or anything. We just get on and play, and I think that's a mistake. I think we need to start scrimming more.
Yeah, that is one of those things. We need to scrim more, says every team at the end of the season. But for all of your fans watching out there, I see there's Flosee and Yoshi. Do you have any words for them before we send you back?
Shout out Yoshi, man. That guy's always looking in the chat. He's my homie.
But all right, Douglas, sorry you couldn't claim the dub, but well played, man.
Thank you so much. Hopefully next time we catch it.
Hopefully, man.
Cool.
So, Douglas claiming the draws. Boys, I still can't believe that, especially given the dominance of Game 1 and Game 4.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to be good consistently for 4 5-minute games in RSC, right? That's the most important thing. And XP were able to string it together in games 1 and 4. And as you said, they were dominant. They looked like they were going to sweep DSQ aside in that game number 1. And then it just didn't come to pass. Sometimes you get those games where your opponents figure you out. It seemed like DSQ did that. And XP just didn't react in time. At the end of the day, they've come away with a draw. And I get the feeling they're going to be pretty happy with it. I mean, Douglas seemed like he was pretty content, at least, with the draw to one of the highest ranked teams in Master right now.
No, honestly, it is one of those things. Lolly, if you were the coach in the locker room at the end of that game, what would you tell Douglas and his Chargers?
I would be telling them absolutely phenomenal job, guys. You did well. Coming as the 9th seed and getting a draw against the 1st seed is a big achievement. And it is just a statement to what they have to offer if they can put in that work and get that consistency, as we mentioned, up to a better standard. Because if they get that up there, they could undeniably be one of the best Master teams in RSC Season 3.
Truth. Absolute truth. But we have plenty more Rocket League to get through tonight. Next up is a prospect game. It is Dynasty Jokers versus Redirect Accelerate. So focus forward, gents, and let's get this one going.
Thank you very much, Bromeo. A huge game in the Prospects Conference. A team with sights on a top 2 place versus a team with sights to get into the playoffs at all. Dynasty Jokers taking on Redirect Accelerate. And Lolly, I mean, it kind of feels like, when you're listening to the radio and the DJ goes from like a really upbeat rock song right the way to like a slow ballad kind of song. That feels like the change that we're making here. But we are we're going to be not short of amazing Rocket League. That is for sure with this Prospects game.
Oh, definitely. As you mentioned, we're jumping from the very top to right at the start. But these are the players I like a lot, because these are the players that have so much potential that hasn't been unleashed just yet. As they develop, they slowly improve. Every season I see them improving and getting better and getting into the higher ranks. So I really like the prospect tier. And I'm very excited to see what my home team Redirect Accelerate and Dynasty Jokers have to offer for today.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that maybe we would be differing in our kind of ideals of who we want to win this game, because of course Redirect, a British-owned organization, of course, very close to my heart. But Ollie, of course, it's your home, your home org as well, Dynasty and SSA-based organization. So we'll see exactly what happens here. Jokers versus Accelerate. Jokers currently 2-2-0, not taking a loss yet this season, and you can see the team there. And Lolly, the Dogman, has put together quite the roster for Prospect.
Oh yes, the Dogman has. This Dynasty Jokers team, as you mentioned, they are really solid. They are currently second on the Prospect tier. They play such phenomenal Rocket League. I mean, when you look at the stats, even 6 out of their 16 games, 11 of them have been wins, only 5 losses. They've been playing really good Rocket League. This Jokers team is really good.
They are really good. I mean, something amazing, by the way, to point out in the Prospect here is that we have 3 teams all on 11-5 as a games win, games loss. It's all based on goal difference. That is the difference between these top 3 sides. Joker sneaking in second. On the other side of the coin, it is, of course, Redirect Accelerate 1 win, 2 draws, and a loss on the season, going a perfect 50%. I can pretty much guarantee you, Lolly, they're going to be looking to maintain that 50% record or improve it tonight.
I mean, they're keeping everything pretty even here. 1 win, 1 loss, 2 draws. Everything on this table is looking very symmetrical. And I kind of like that. It's pretty cool. But as you mentioned, 50%, they're pretty good. They're sitting just at that 6th spot. They do want a win, but for the sake of the table, we also kind of do want that draw because that looks absolutely beautiful.
That would be very funny indeed. I would like that a lot. I mean, let's be honest, right? Accelerate, win 3-1. All of a sudden, they're on the same record as Jokers. All of a sudden, we're looking ahead to a fight between these two teams going into playoffs. So there's a lot to play for in this week 5 matchup. So we're obviously going to do it again. Lolly got his prediction right in the first game. Can he get his prediction right in the second game? Jokers, Accelerate. Where do you see this one going?
You put me on the spot again because I did the tied game last time. I will let you have that one this time round. Okay. I'll be going with the team that I'm representing at the moment as a redirect player in the lead scene. I'll go with redirect for the 3-1 victory.
3-1 indeed. You know what? I could take the 2-2. I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to go for Dynasty Jokers taking the victory. 3-1. No draws on this one. We'll see if we get that as the game number 1 has started already. And it's going to be cleared away by the Jokers for the minute. Dark Adept tries to work this one in field. Going to be Eclipse getting the clearance, and Jokers are going to work back up the field with there from Weaver, but it's not going to work in too many problems near post. Oh, it's going to hit the post. Eclipse tries to get something moving forward. Adept tries to get back in time. Can't do it. And it's going to be Eclipse getting the first goal on the board for Dynasty Jokers.
Yeah, that was so awkward there in that accelerate defense of Dr. Deck. To his defense, he did almost manage to reach that ball. That would have been quite an impressive save, but Jokers, they find themselves with the first goal, and it's only 30 seconds into game number 1. Can Accelerate find an answer soon, or will a Jokers seem just a little bit more comfy in this game?
Yeah. Shout out to Muzz as well, of course, in chat, who is a part of the Dynasty roster, not being brought in yet, but maybe we'll see him later in the series. As this one starts moving forwards, it's Van Ruyen looking for the pass in field. It's a nice shot. It's cleared away at the first time of asking, but redirect is starting to build, and it's Van Ruyen back post, and will be the immediate response. Redirect coming back into it, 1-1.
Beautiful pass on from Weaver on that bottom corner to get it up to the Van Ruyen. 1-1, 4 minutes left. This could be a very close series, Rhino.
Really good. It's going to be Weaver looking to get this back in Redirect's favor. Cleared away by the Dogman for the moment, as it's going to be Eclipse on the right-hand side looking for the pass. Oh my goodness. High frequency almost got there, but it's going to be Van Ruyen to clear this one away. Now Dogman trying to get this one. It's a whifty between the two players as now this ball starts moving forwards. Adept, let's get it back towards the Joker's net. That's a mistouch from Eclipse. Going to look for the goal. Good save by the Dogman to keep the score line level. But I get the feeling, I get the impression, Lolly, that it will not be level for much longer.
Very true. Redirect here. They're getting good pressure. Back here from Eclipse, so it's going to be very good for the Jokers to find themselves some boost and get some recovery. Dogman, they clear down. That's going to be the high frequency. He's dead off the field. Accelerate. They're trying to push for the second goal. They're trying to find that lead. Dark Adept looking to keep it around in the Joker's corner. That's a little bit of a double commit from Redirect. Might be a little bit awkward. Dark Adept forced to get back to defense. Shots coming through. Maybe the opportunity. Jokers won't find it. Redirect going back onto the attack.
Less than 3 minutes left on the clock now as Van Ruyen going to take a shot here. It's off the backboard. Gets the bump onto the Dogman. Chance at the back post. It will be cleared away by Eclipse. That one is just going to kiss the ceiling, as it's difficult for Weaver to deal with, but does clear it away. Eclipse takes a shot. It's off the backboard. Oh, I think he took it off the Dogman there. I think if he left that one, Dogman had a better chance of scoring. Dark Adept comes back down the other end. Ball into the midfield. Up early is Eclipse looking for the bottom left. It's going to go off the backboard. Is there going to be someone following it? It's going to be Dogman. Bottom left-hand corner. It's Dynasty to retake the lead.
Jokers pulling a card out of their sleeves. Dogman, beautiful shot. Accelerate. They're going to need to step on that gas and find themselves an extra goal here in the last 2 minutes 20. There's still lots of time though, so it's not looking too uncomfortable just yet. They've had really good pressure so far, so they can definitely potentially find the opportunities to get the goals. Here's Dogman though, looking for another shot. That ball is going to be so awkward there in the midfield. Eclipse, let's touch onto the backboard. Will be followed up by High Frequency. That one going to ball bounce a little bit awkwardly. Double commit from Dark Death and Van Rooyen. Eclipse keeping it around in the redirect half. Looking for follow-up, can't quite find it. Now it's going to be a look clear from redirects as they find themselves maybe a good opportunity here on the counter-attack. It will be cleared away here by Jokers.
Now trying to get something going. It's Eclipse now looking for the pinch. Not going to find it on this occasion. Ball inside. Will be cleared away. Eclipse tries to get this one moving, and Dynasty looking a little bit dangerous there. Not able to find a teammate on that occasion. Weaver takes it forwards for redirect. Van Rooyen off the backboard. Needs a teammate. Needs some help. Won't be forthcoming, and Eclipse sending that one long. Dynasty Jokers, they aren't necessarily going to rush to try and get a third goal, but I guarantee you they will feel a lot safer if they are able to get it. It's just going to be a matter of keeping redirect at bay until that point. And at the moment, they're doing that with aplomb. It's just going to be difficult for the remaining minute because redirects know exactly what they need to do. That is score a goal.
Definitely, and maybe an opportunity. We have a beautiful shot downfield. Almost was saved from, I don't know who that was on the back line, but that was so close, but not quite close enough. Redirect, they find the equalizer. With only 48 seconds left, this could still go either way.
Certainly good. It was High Frequency on the save. Hang on a moment. Kickoff goal maybe, or Ruin just about going to be able to send that one clear. Now looking to follow it up as well. Off the sidewall. Sent clear by Eclipse for the moment. Does get a second touch on it as well. Chance for High Frequency, goes low, and it's a great save from Redirect to keep Jokers at bay for the moment. But that may not be the case for long. Ball turning, Weaver taking a shot. Good clearance by Eclipse, sorry. So now the ball comes in. High Frequency will be given a free shot. Gonna go wide. Eclipse gonna turn on this one. Does get the better of two. The ball comes onto the sidewall. Eclipse, is that on target? No, it's not. But Van Rooyen had to make sure that it wasn't. And maybe game one is destined for overtime. There's still a couple of seconds. Ball dropped. Oh my goodness, Eclipse really almost cost his team. But at the end of the day, Lolly, it's OT game one.
Redirect would have loved that goal there, but Jokers, Dogman, big touchdown field. Weaver the touch. Little awkward, manages to get it down to Van Rooyen. High Frequency, keeping it around. Weaver will get around one. Just lands in the hands of Eclipse though. Jokers, a little bit of early possession will be Weaver now. Looking for the counter-attack, maybe the shot, can't quite find it. Dogman has some time, has the ball, has possession. Dark Adept though, looking to keep this ball in the side of the Joker's field. Find opportunities for Redirect to get a win. Oh. Maybe it's going to start from here. Van Rooyen, beautifully done on his 50.
Yeah, that is an absolutely wonderful 50. Just dunks High Frequency, knows where he wants to go, and denies that route of access. So it will be Accelerate to take game number one. They needed that. As I mentioned, they're on a 50% win percentage on the season. They want to maintain that and maybe improve it. But these statistics are going to show a lot. Look at those saves. Only 2 made for Redirect. And that is because they had a majority of the ball. Dynasty just unable to get the shots that they had on target.
Definitely. They did have quite a lot of shots, but as mentioned, they weren't finding the net quite enough. Redirect, they kept the ball pretty much in possession most of the time. To mention, they only needed to make 2 saves compared to the 7 that Dynasty got. That is quite a huge save difference between these two teams.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's pretty wild, especially when the game only ends 3-2. Something's clearly gone wrong on the side of Joker's Dynasty. And it's just, unfortunately, maybe it was the woodwork who was Redirect's best friend. The ball's just around the goal, like, you know, when you get one of those shooting videos where they're like tracing the outside of the the target, one of them ones where they just can't find the shot on target. And Jokers will come back in game number 2. They will look to make amends for what went wrong in that game number 1. You better believe it. And I get the feeling we're in for another close game in this best of 4 as Jokers and Dynasty get us underway. Jokers and Accelerate get us underway once again. Oh! Getting the first goal on the board inside the first 6 seconds of play. Kickoff goal potentially. Redirects just stuck looking at it. Eclipse making a statement early in game 2.
Very early goal from Jokers. That is something that they definitely wanted. Great kickoff going right back into the possession. Double commit there from Jokers on offense. Dogman trying to keep it around. Will land up in Weaver's hands though. Maybe a clear coming through. Can't quite find it. Beeforian keeping the ball around. Kept away from by high frequency. Weaver can't quite find that one. Eclipse takes it to the side ball. What can he do? Maybe some prospect mechanics coming off this one. Gets the reset. Maybe a follow-up touch to the backboard. Boom for the shot. Not getting in. Weaver will be there to clear it away. Jokers, they're showing quite a lot of potential here.
Yeah, different camera angles here as well. I like it. Sticking with the ball. I appreciate that from our production. It's going to be Dogman looking for this one. Van Rooyen going to try and clear that one away. It's going to be met by Eclipse. Ball in field. Cleared away there by Dark Adept, and Accelerate going to try and start a counter-attack, but Dogman denies it. Now the ball will be fully cleared down the other end of the field, as it's now going to be a chance off that top corner. Cleared away by Dogman for the moment. Ball tracking still very much on as we're looking into the bottom left-hand corner. It's just going to go wide. Dynasty Jokers still getting a lot of shots, not quite able to make them stick, and normality has been resumed as Eclipse gets his second of the game. It's Dynasty Jokers running away with game 2.
It's like production knew exactly when it needed to go right back to that player cam. As soon as we went back, it was the pass goal from Jokers. 2-0 lead. Accelerate, they're starting to get a bit of a mountain that they're going to have to climb. Eclipse, maybe an opportunity, looks for the flip reset once again, gets the shot, dunk! Kept away this time by Weaver. Accelerate, they need to find a lot to keep themselves in this game.
It's going to be a chance now off the ceiling. Should be cleared away here, you would think. Dark Adept is going to keep this one going, though. Will be high frequency, now moving it away. Chance for a clearance from Eclipse. Weaver going to try and look to clear this one, not going to be able to do so. Oh my goodness, the hat-trick almost coming through for Eclipse. Going to find it on this occasion, as now it will be high frequency. Onto the left-hand side, it might be on target. It's going to just cross the goal line. No one there following in from Dynasty Jokers. They are looking so good in this game number 2, looking to equalize the series. And if they keep playing like this, Lolly, they are going to do that without too many problems.
Definitely. This lead is something they would want. Maybe an opportunity. Dark Adept. Huge touch to the backboard. Beeforian can't quite get that one. Eclipse gets the beat out. Looks for potential. Another opportunity for Jokers. Pass mid kept away. Eclipse lurking. Looking for the shot. Beautifully done. And that is a hat trick for Eclipse.
Certainly is. And he has taken on a whole new form in game number 2, taking it by the horns and running with it as Jokers 3-0 up. Still 2 minutes 20 on the clock, still plenty of time, but Redirect are really struggling to deal with this aggression that Dynasty Jokers are presenting. And I mentioned in between the games that if they were able to find shots on goal, if they were able to convert a few more, they would probably have won game number 1, and they are using it to great effect in game number 2. Oh my goodness, Eclipse looking to go top shelf once again, this time denied. But Redirect Accelerate being penned in to their own half. Eclipse has another chance, it's away by Weaver. They need to get this ball down in the Dynasty half, and it is proving very, very difficult indeed.
Dark Adept now touches the corner, maybe the follow-up will be Weaver. Big touch going up to the ceiling. A little bit awkward here for the Jokers defense. That ball lands up in mid, high frequency. Can't quite find the follow-up. Oops. Ball will land in Dark Adept. Good clear downfield. Just back into the hands of high frequency. A little bit of ping pong. Eclipse looking for the shot. Almost in the Dolphins. It will be! Crossbar down like 4 or 5 bounces. It finds its way into the net, pulling his own redirect against redirect.
Wow, that is absolutely crazy. Eclipse, I mean, might not end up being series MVP. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 games, but certainly MVP of game number 2, taking Jokers on his back and walking with them to a game victory. I'm pretty sure there's no doubt about that at this point, unless redirects are able to do some absolute magic. It's going to be Dogman taking the shot, cleared away by Weaver for the moment. Ball going to find its way in, high frequency, double touches. Will be enough to confuse the redirect defense. Now the ball being taken across by Dogman. Will now try and find a passing field. 50 seconds left on the clock. Redirect. Every second that ticks by is against them. As now it's Eclipse getting the clearance and high frequency booming the ball back towards redirect's half. This game number 2 could not really have gone much better for the Jokers.
Definitely not. And as you mentioned, Eclipse, he's been holding Jokers really well. He got 4 goals by himself. Definitely put everyone in the backboard. Maybe a fifth coming through. Beautiful pass down. And Jokers, they're holding this lead and they're just growing it. Every second that Accelerate can't find a goal.
That is a gorgeous chip up into the top left-hand corner. Redirect cannot get up quick enough to save it. With 20 seconds on the clock and 5 goals to find. Oh my goodness, surely not a 6! Oh! It's an Eclipse absolute masterclass. What this guy had between games 1 and 2, I don't know, but I can guarantee you, Lolanizer, if you sold it, you would make millions.
Definitely. What I have noticed is that his team is looking for him. His team is finding pass opportunities to get that ball down to Eclipse. 7 goals. This is a double hat trick +1 on the road, maybe to get a triple.
What on earth is happening? 13 seconds for it. I mean, we're already past the point of going to South America, but if Jokers really want to twist the knife, they're going to just let Redirect score here. I don't think that's going to be the case. Eclipse wants more. Oh my goodness, he wanted an 8th. It's going to be someone else to score on the team finally. Dogman gets a goal. It's 8-0 to the Dynasty Jokers. And I mean, I hate to say this because I'm a caster and it's my job, but I'm getting a little bit speechless. This is outrageous from Dynasty.
Also, about a minute ago, this game was sitting at 4-0, being doubled in about 1/5 of the entire game. Dynasty, they find themselves with the win, and Eclipse, I have no doubt, there it is, 1,000 points. He had the entire team chilling in his backpack.
1,094 points, 7 goals from 12 shots. This is Eclipse's world. We are just living in it. And that is ludicrous. Another statistic. 0 saves made by Dynasty Jokers. 0 shots from redirects. That is an absolute stomp.
Definitely. It's also worth mentioning, I put a little mention to it earlier. Those 7 goals that Eclipse got, each of them had an assist from high frequency or the Dogman attached to it.
True. It's a team game, and if your team starts working together, then that is definitely going to benefit you. Jokers level the series. Of course, Redirects won game number 1 in overtime. Would you believe game number 2 did not look anything like game number 1? I said it was going to be close. I was very, very wrong. Redirect, what do they do between this game and game 3, Lolly, to try and get back into the series?
Ooh, that is very difficult, especially when you have someone playing on one of the best games I've ever seen them play. Eclipse, he's doing really well here. Will he do it again, or was that just a 1-game peak?
Well, we'll see, won't we? Eclipse, I mean, clearly has a lot of momentum, but hang on a moment. It's going to be Dark Adept moving back down the field, getting the goal. I'm not sure who that was back. It was High Frequency who went boost and should have been watching the goal, unfortunately. Redirect. It was 6 seconds that the Jokers scored in game number 2. It's 11 seconds for Redirect in game number 3. And that's going to be a little bit of a benefit for Redirect because they didn't even get a shot in game number 2. But hang on a moment, the immediate response from who else, Lolly? It's Eclipse again.
Once again, not to mention Dogman getting rid of the only defender sitting in that net. The Eclipse with a beautiful little double tap to find that equalizer. 1-1. I think the momentum, though, still hangs a little bit on the side of the Jokers as Eclipse finds another one off the mistouch of Redirect.
Well, I don't think Eclipse likes being behind very much. I think he maybe kind of sat up a little bit at that point. A little bit of a mistouch from Redirect Accelerate. That is going to happen. But the finish from Dynasty Jokers, from Eclipse, was absolutely perfect. Van Ruyen going to try and get something going here. It's High Frequency. Going to let that one run as Eclipse does go by. Will get a second bite at the cherry and will be able to go forward. Surely not. Oh my goodness, Eclipse. That's his hat trick, I believe, early on in game number 3. Dynasty Jokers, well, 2 of them are in the backpack and 1 of them is heading to Mordor.
Eclipse, he's looking to up his record. Last game he had a double hat trick. Maybe he can pull that triple one that I mentioned in this game. Here's going to be a goal coming from Dark Adept, though. That's exactly what Redirect need if they want to stay in this game. They need to find some answers to this masterclass coming from Eclipse.
Just like 30 seconds, Ollie. 30 seconds would be nice, just to sit and collect our thoughts. It's been, what, 46 seconds? It's already been 5 goals on the board. Jokers and Redirect, there are no breaks on this train. There's no defense in the server. And there's a chance for the Dogman. He's not quite going to find it on this occasion. And finally, maybe we'll be able to settle into this one. Maybe we won't. There's a chance for Redirect, but it will be pushed away by Dynasty. And they can start moving forwards on the counter-attack. Hang on a moment. Eclipse, Musty. No, my goodness gracious me! Prospect, I was not familiar with your game.
Nor was I. I'm honestly wondering here if Dynasty might want to consider bumping this man up into that rival tier because he can definitely do some solid work up there.
What? I have never, ever seen a Prospect player able to hit a flip reset on the roof and then get a Musty. I can't really believe what we've just seen. Redirect surely can't believe what they've just seen, but Weaver's taking a chance here, needs to find the finish, and every time Eclipse does something cool, Redirect are there to answer. And on this occasion, it's a big 50 victory from Weaver to get the goal for Accelerate. They're not dead yet, 4-3.
Not dead yet. But Eclipse keeps on putting extra holes in their body. They're looking for the opportunities. Redirect, they need to find more though. Or at least find a way to shut down Eclipse and get him out of this game. Maybe just get someone to get him off the field at this rate. Eclipse can tap that one to the backboard. V van Rooyen will get a bit of a clear. It's a little bit awkward at the back. Fake out from everyone. Double, triple whiff. Redirect, they will find the safe clear out. Eclipse on the ball, not the player you want to be on it. Big top patch to the sidewall. Will be a little bit safer now. A little awkward shot coming through, denied by the crossbar, but dunked in once again by Eclipse. That's his 5th goal this game. Will Accelerate find another answer?
Oh my goodness, he did. I was about to say, I'm not sure he knew much about that one. He kind of just hit it and hoped, but no. There was a little bit of boost at the end to make sure that he hit that ball. So difficult to read, but Eclipse makes it look easy. And now Redirect are going to start wondering how they can deal with this man. It's going to be Weaver on that side. High frequency intercept. Looks for the pass in field. It's going to be Dark Adept to send it away. Back in field again from Dogman. Cleared once more by Weaver. Van Rooyen trying to meet it. Not able to do so. Cleared away, but whoever that was just got sent to the Shadow Realm. Bumped out of their minds. There's Dark Adept trying to find this one. Ball up off the top. It's Van Rooyen taking a shot. And it's a good save in the end from the Dogman. Defense is finally starting to get online. Almost 3 minutes gone in this game number 3.
Dark Adept is looking to do some work at the back line with the bump shot or pass coming through. Couldn't be found though. Dark Adept. Pass back to the front row in the touch. We'll go to the wall. Maybe the follow-up. Darkman pushes it further out. A little bit awkward here. Accelerate. They're 2 goals down. They need to find those 2 goals in 1 minute 40 left. But the joke is they're constantly finding more opportunities. Maybe Weaver can put another one in here. Can't quite get it. 1:30 left. Can they do it, Rhino?
See, it's going to be Van Rooyen pass. Oh, Weaver, I thought I maybe had time to turn on that, but with 0 boost, it's difficult to do so. Dark Adept on the far side, looks for the shot, cleared away by High Frequency, picked up by Eclipse. One man you do not want to give time to on this Joker's side. It's a good clearance by Van Rooyen and cleared away fully by Dark Adept. Eclipse back in the middle, looking for a teammate. Van Rooyen takes the pocket. Dogman into the middle once again. Just over a minute left on the clock. Eclipse, is that on target? It may well be. It's cleared away by Dark Adept for the moment. 5-3, 2 goals needed for redirect with a minute left on the clock. And dare I say it, Eclipse has started to cool off, but I get the feeling it will only take a moment for him to warm back up again.
Yeah, the second redirect find themselves a little bit of a lead again. Eclipse is just gonna sit back up. Another shot coming through, denied by my favorite defender. The crossbar that never rotates out of position. Accelerate. They won't go down on that goal, but they're still going to be down in the game by 2.
Yeah, the best defender sometimes is the crossbar. You are right. Hang on a moment. Redirect. Oh, Dogman goes low. Great work. Now tries to get around that last defender. Not able to do so. Dark Adept down the left-hand side. Van Rooyen trying to cause problems. Going to be Weaver off the left-hand side. 10 seconds left on the clock. Eclipse, maybe one for the road. It's going to be cleared away. And I think that's going to be all she wrote for game number 2. And that's also going to be all she wrote for Lola Nice's prediction. Big sad, but at the end of the day, there can only be one and the ball will drop. It is going to be Jokers who lock in minimum of a tie. They're going to be looking for more.
Very true. I am also very glad that the goals went down a little bit there. Holy smokes, that scoreboard. Eclipse definitely had everyone in his backpack. They were just sitting there. I don't even think High Frequency came up on the hike.
No, he was left at base camp maybe. But no, you say that the goals had chilled out. They actually haven't. 8 goals in game 2, 8 goals in game 3, just differently distributed as Redirect able to get something on the board. But still, 5 shots from them. Eclipse on his own had 9. That tells you all you need to know about game number 3. Redirect, though, they are going to look to get this draw. You can guarantee that, Lolly. They've got a little bit of momentum from game number 3. Can they use that, harness it, and go forward in game number 4?
You gotta hope for them if they want to find that draw, but it's going to be a difficult task when we have an Eclipse playing on such a good level. He has been doing such unbelievable shots, especially for a prospect. It's going to be quite a mountain to climb for Redirect, but they've been showing that they have what it takes. They didn't lose that game by nearly as much as they lost game 2. And so now they just need to push that a little bit further and find themselves a game 4 win.
Yeah, but if this man continues to play at the level that he has been, it's going to cause problems. The pass, oh, the missed shot. I think it was High Frequency at the back post. He heard about us saying that he was left behind. He wanted a piece of the action, but he's not going to get that one to go. As Dark Adept now tries to get it moving forwards. It's going to be Frequency sending this one back. It's Van Rooyen over to the side. Eclipse intercepting, wanting more. No boost to speak of. Dark Adept, it's awkward. Someone comes through there to try and clear the rabble away, and eventually Redirect will be able to clear their lines, but very, very tough times at the start of game number 4. Hang on a moment, 4 hits the post from Weaver, still 0-0.
Accelerate, they're putting the foot down. They're doing what needs to be done. It's the most time, I think, since they've been scored on at the start of the past 2 games. Maybe an opportunity for them to score. Eclipse can't reach that. Weaver for the shot. Redirect. Find the first one perfectly 1 minute into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we say that with a bated breath because Redirect did go 1-up in game number 3. They then did end up losing the game. So we'll see if they can hold on to the lead this time. Another goal would go very, very well with trying to make that a reality. Weaver is going to go by. It's going to be cleared away by High Frequency off the top corner to get this one moving forwards. Actually, it's going to be a pass in field, and who else? Eclipse continues to get the goals for Jokers and keep them in this series, in this game. Great finish. 2-1.
I think that is Eclipse's 15th or so goal this series. I think he's on about 15 at the moment, which is an absolutely insane stat. But this game might be a good one for Redirect. Maybe another opportunity coming through. High Frequency will find the clear out. Clear out Eclipse now. Moving forward. High Frequency taking control, looking for the shot. Won't quite be in. Rolls right over the net. Now it's Dogman looking to do some of his own work. Maybe the opportunity kept away this time. Once again by Redirect. Eclipse. Big touch forward. Maybe the follow-up. Big touch to the side. Might be a little bit awkward here in the defense. Weaver, though, finds the clear out. Dark Depth can try beat Dogman to that one. Can't quite get it. VuDu looking to get some control for Accelerate. They need to get out of this awkward defensive position. Otherwise, Dynasty Jokers, they're going to find themselves an opportunity to score.
Here we go, Dark Adept looking for the shot, cleared away by Dogman for the moment, but only as far as Van Rooyen, who goes low. Oh, it's a wonderful save by the Dogman, just was able to hit it with the bottom of his car. Eclipse splits the uprights, gets past 2, but that is going to be all he's able to find. It's now High Frequency, playing it to the side. Dark Adept looking for a teammate, cleared by Dogman. Intercepted by Weaver, but that's going to give Eclipse the chance, and he catches, and he drives, and he will score. 2 of the best from Eclipse, and Dynasty Jokers have turned this game around 1-0 down to now finding themselves 2-1 up.
Very similar to the last game, except for the fact that we didn't get a goal every 9 seconds for the first 45 seconds of the game. Much more chilled, and I appreciate that they slowed that down. Dogman looking for an opportunity. Will be kept away by Weaver. Now Weaver's big clear down the field, goes out into the hands of Dogman. Eclipse now, sorry. Looking for the opportunities, VuDu, and I love that confidence to be on that immediately. Maybe an all good spot here in the Joker's defense. A little bit of a backflip by mistake on the jump and Redirect. They find themselves back in the tied game.
Yeah, that's not easy to watch. That's going to be a tough one when they watch the VOD back for Dynasty Jokers, no doubt about it. But the good news is that they have not lost the lead per se. There is still a draw on the cards right now. Redirect will take a lot of benefit from that one. It's going to be Dark Adept taking it forwards. Eclipse is waiting, booming it back downfield. Van Rooyen is going to be there to clear the ball away. Dogman been pressing forwards. Van Rooyen now. What's he going to do? He's just going to drop that one down. There's a chance for the Dogman. That one might have dropped in, but Van Rooyen makes sure he's there with the save, picks up the 100, and now can move forwards for Redirect. Big flick forward, beats 1. Gets it into the corner. Eclipse gets past Weaver. Now there's a double commit from Jokers. One of them wins out. This is going to be a chance for Eclipse at the near post. Will be pushed away. And Van Rooyen now clears this one away for Redirect. 1 minute 20 for either of these teams to try and get something here. Redirect need it for the draw. Jokers need it for the series victory. Either way is looking likely right now as Eclipse now moves forwards. No way, not another musty. Please leave them at home, Eclipse. As Redirect's going to be freed from the clutches for the moment, but you know he's going to get more chances.
As this Redirect roster, seeing Eclipse is just such a scary feeling. That ball so awkward. Another shot coming through. VuDu can't quite reach that one. The Jokers, they're going to find themselves a lead with just under 50 seconds left. Can they hold it out, or will Accelerate find an answer?
Honestly, anything could happen at this point. I would not want to bet either way. As Dark Cadet now comes through into the left-hand side. Oh my goodness, I thought maybe High Frequency hadn't moved since the kickoff there. Van Rooyen on into the middle, or cleared away by Eclipse. And how important could that clearance be? Dark Cadet takes a shot. Frequency will be there to make the save for the moment. It's going to come back towards the Joker's net though, as Dogman can't get there. High Frequency will clear, and Eclipse will finish the clearance too. 20 seconds left on the clock. Redirect, scrounging, clawing, trying to get that goal to bring it level. But Eclipse, if he can get something happening here, which of course he can. Why was I questioning it? Hat-trick for Eclipse. Game, set, match.
You know, he went for a double reset there. And I can tell, just because that was a bit of an awkward position, and he tried to do the flip and almost got it to get a double reset. Absolute insane mechanics for a player of his level. 5 seconds left. Jokers definitely have this one confirmed. Eclipse, he did decide to take his players out of the backpack for this game at the least, but hold them in there for quite a large amount of the series.
Yeah, and Dynasty Jokers, that is going to do wonders for them moving up the table. A 3-1 victory against Redirect, and there you see that final game, 4-2 in their favor. Once again, Eclipse going to be the MVP of that game, a hat-trick for him. But Redirect started to find their feet, and there's a lot of positives to take from this game moving into the later half of this season, I would suggest, Lolly, because, I mean, managing to get, 9 shots against this Dynasty team is pretty impressive in itself.
Definitely, and especially when you look at the way they managed to bounce back. That is a lot of mental skill that they have there. The ability to lose a game 8-0, to then bring it back and almost get yourself a win later on. That is a really good mental bounce back for a team.
Yeah, and Lolly, I don't think it's going to take a genius to imagine who is going to be the MVP of this series. I think unfortunately on this occasion there's been one shining light across the series, and it is of course going to be Eclipse. 3,130 points across 4 games in the prospect tier is absolutely ludicrous.
A new moon is definitely rising for this player, finding his groove. 16 goals, 32 shots. That is a 2-to-1 shot goal ratio, which is really good. And with just the sheer amount, 16 goals in 4 games is absolutely ludicrous.
50% conversion rate is something that you will not see very often, I guarantee you of that. And a very well-earned series MVP from Eclipse there. Let's take a look at your post-series stats. And wow, if Jokers didn't look like they had the best attack in the league before this game, 19 goals found in this series is definitely going to help that fact. 48 shots, double the number of shots that Redirect had across the series. After game number 1, Lolly, there was really only one winner of this one.
Oh, definitely. You know, just to put it out there, 84% of those 19 goals for Dynasty was the man himself, Eclipse. Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Just ridiculous. And then when you look at it as well, yeah, as you said, 16 of the 19 goals. We're going to bring in BeerMasjien. I mean, have you looked outside recently? Is the moon passing the sun? I think it might be.
I can't quite see it yet.
Yeah, no, it is nighttime, but I can't see the moon. It got a little heavy out there. I had some points riding on this game. They weren't favorites to win, but now I can see why. Because Eclipse was immense, and let's just talk about some of his stats quickly. 16 goals. Okay, I'm done now.
That's the one, yeah, that's it.
We'll just leave it there. So I'm sure that his fans are rushing to chat to him and the RSC admins to audit him. But that was a fantastic performance by him. But what a cracker of a game, because Redirect really brought it back a couple of times there, and it was looking close.
Yeah, they looked really, really good. I think what we saw tonight is the difference between team play and an individual brilliance, right? We saw Eclipse really carry that Joker's team, really kind of put them on his back and take everything forwards. But you notice he didn't have a fantastic game one, which is the game that they lost. Redirects were able to capitalize on that as a team, work as a unit. And when they started getting those passing plays, getting their looks together, it looked really solid for them. I would not be concerned in the slightest if I'm a Redirect fan. They look very, very set for playoffs if they continue playing this way. But sometimes you just get beaten by, as you say, individual brilliance. And I expect to see the results of that audit in the morning.
The first time my heart skipped a beat was when he attempted a double flippy dippy. And almost pulled it off. And I was like, you're not supposed to be able to do that in Prospect.
Nope.
That's what? And do you know what? Credit to Redirect Accelerate. They reined him in, they quietened him down, they demoed him a couple of times, and they almost did enough. So credit to them. And while we're busy sorting him out, we are going to be interviewing Eclipse after this. So if anybody in chat has any questions for Eclipse, please post them now. If you'd like to ask him anything, I will ask him for you. But only if it's family friendly. Otherwise, we'll, have to censor you out, and then the RSC admins will have a chat with you as well. But gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm going to be proceeding to this interview, but I will see you guys a little bit later.
Take care.
So now we're just going to check if Eclipse is here. He was having a little bit of some audio problems. We see that he looks very similar to Douglas with that outline. Eclipse, Clerks,
Yep.
what do we call you?
Clerks.
Clerks.
Yeah.
Just Clerks.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you Series MVP. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah. No.
Absolute banger of a game. How are you feeling?
Yeah. The first game was like obviously a bit of a struggle. Then after that, after I turned on my music, I was just popping off. And yeah, it was all good.
Well, 16 goals said the pressure didn't get you too much. I think that's the most goals I've seen in a series ever. So I'm sure you're feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, I am really feeling good about it. Sure, I was like hyped after I scored like I think 7 goals in the second match or third. I'm not too sure.
It was the second game where you single-handedly Braziled your opponents.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that makes you feel pretty good. So just a little bit about your training regime. When you do scrims, do you bring your teammates along, or do you just 1v3 usually?
No, I bring my teammates in with the scrims, but yeah, I see what you said there.
All right, so we have chat asking a couple of questions. Luckily, a clever rabbit, you might know him. He is the GM of Dynasty. He is asking, what does it feel like to be Dynasty's golden goat? Do you feel that pressure makes you better?
I think pressure does make me like do better in the game, but it depends really, because this is the first time ever like I played with like music, and it actually helped a lot. So in the future, I'll probably play more music. Actually, yeah.
So what was on the playlist?
Oh my word! Now I have to actually look. Let's see. Little Demon by Future, and then Like That by Future 2, and then what is it called now? Too Many Nights by Don Toliver and Travis Scott. And yeah,
And
that's basically
falling.
was like the main like 3 I was playing just to help me focus.
Okay. No. Banging tracks. And one more question from chat. Lolonizer, the man who casted your match, is
Oh.
how'd he get so mechy at Prospect? So are there specific training packs that we're going to be posting in chat so, you know, kids who are aspiring can do double flippy dippies just like you?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to say. I've been like mainly focusing on like training, trying to do the mechanics, and obviously getting better at it. I got like more consistent at it, and it's actually much better. People say I'm like GC, but really not. But yeah, I get you. But there's no like map like training packs I can do, but there's like SSR ones that I just usually do just to help me focus and shit. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. We'll leave that for the RSC admins in the morning. Just joking.
You know,
Don't
my
worry
bad.
too hard. But I just want to say congratulations again. That was a fantastic result for your team and a brilliant personal result. So you heard it from the man himself. All you need is a good playlist and some SSL training packs. Clerks, thank you for joining us, and hope to see you again on stream sometime.
Yeah, I hope so too. See you.
Cheers,
Thanks
man.
for the interview. Cheers.
So, there you have it. The man himself listening to bangers and scoring some bangers. And generally, we'd leave it there after scoring 16 goals. That's it, folks. That's all we needed to see. But there is still plenty of Rocket League ahead of us. We have got 2 games still to go. We have got Dynasty Darkness versus Order of Okes Rawlers, followed by Dynasty Shadow Darkness versus Order of Okes Rawlers, and Dynasty Queens versus Critical Force Delta Force. So you see those first 2 results. DSQ drawing out with Devaras in a fantastic game there, and Dynasty Jokers beating out Redirect Accelerate 3-1 with the supreme skills of Clerks. So let's move on to our next set of matches. But before I do that, I just want to send a quick shout out to our league sponsors, mainly Nixa, and thank you for sponsoring our prize pool for 18,000 Rand split amongst 4 tiers, and obviously Genisus Extreme for getting the stream looking so good. So let's just move on to the elite tier standings so that we can show you what these games are going to hold. Currently at the top of the standings is Prototype, having played 1-2, drawn 3, and with a win percentage of 65%. So, which is ironic because in second place, with a win percentage of 75%, just for having played less games, is Delta Force, and following in third, fourth, and fifth is Ostrom, Prowlers, Darkness, followed by Rollers, Queens, Swift, Montbéliard, and Centurions. But let's get in on it. There are 2 elite games still to come, and to cast these tonight, we have a Vector who looks like RhinoCast but isn't, and Zektek who is looking like Lolonizer but isn't. How are you guys?
Well, we're feeling a lot different right now, Bromeo. We've had some changes. As you can see, our names are the same, but we've upped our looks a little bit. Let's say that. But no, it's been a great night so far, both in Master and Prospect. Bit of a yo-yo in that regard, and well, that last series was absolutely crazy, at least from a Clerks or Eclipse perspective. 16 goals. I don't even want to talk about it. I just want to move on, sweep it under the rug, and get back to regular programming, as we will have a couple of elite matches on tonight. I'm finally out of the prison, the jail of Prospect and Rival. No, I jest. There's been some excellent entertainment in the Prospect division and the Rival division, as we saw tonight. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what this level of gameplay can bring.
And Zek, good to see you back here. Zek hailing out of the United States of America to cast a humble little league on the southern tip of Africa. Makes us feel special, but how we're feeling about the Rocket League tonight?
Feeling absolutely fantastic. It was a blast to see those prospect matches and rival matches and whatnot. So many good games and great players, but now we are on to the elite, just below master. So, I mean, these players, though, not second to best. These are going to be some of the best games we're going to see at this rank. And so I think it's going to be an absolute blast today. Super excited to cast these matches.
Well, there we have it. I'm not going to leave you guys waiting too much longer. Gents, 2 games to go, 2 elite games. Take it away.
Finally, here, somewhat of a middle ground in my my regards, Zach, because we've gone from master to prospect, and now we're settling somewhere in the middle. Not just in terms of tier difference, but also in terms of league position. Darkness and Rawlers are actually very, very close to each other in the league table. In 5th and 6th in the Eagles Conference. Yeah, so it should be an interesting matchup just based on that. But based on my notes as well, there's a lot coming into it. Darkness is second time on stream, I believe. They won last week, and it's Rawler's very first time. So Darkness have some experience with that. They're coming off a sweep. They swept Centurions on stream, 18 goals to 6. And Rawlers are also coming off a sweep. So both teams on a winning run, feeling it, got that momentum going. Now they're about to clash, and whether or not it's an immovable object meets an unstoppable force, we'll just have to see. It should be a very interesting series.
Well, happy to welcome the Rawlers to stream. It's going to be an absolute blast here. Of course, that does, of course, welcome in the pressure of being watched by many of the fans out there and, you know, having your work and play scrutinized by, of course, ourselves. But I think for some players, that is maybe a little motivation to really do their best on that day. So super excited to see here. Of course, we have our lineup for the team here. Order of Okes, Rawlers. And of course, we got Terrorbill, Spiker, the Joker, and Gingerbeard. I think some great players here. 50% win rate exactly. So I think today might be a bit of a coin toss for them to see if they'll move up or not.
So she'll certainly hope so, as looking at it, week 6 next week along. Darkness facing Prowlers, who are just above them in the table, a single game, and Rawlers facing Swift, who are a few games below them, 8 to 5, I believe it is. So they're going to be wanting to break that deadlock, that 50% record, and go up and over Darkness here. They would have to do it in a full-on sweep, I believe. So for them, for their sake, looking at the team lineup and what they're capable of doing, like I said, both teams coming off a sweep, they have that momentum, they have the ability. Just whether or not they can bring it to the fore here on the live stage. We know that Darkness are capable. They did it last week. They're going to have to do it all over again against a team that are already on a winning run. And this one off the crossbar, immediate attempt from Darkness here to try and get this one away, get those early goals going, get the momentum in their favor. As I believe it's called Vahid, as I've definitely butchered that. SWFC tried to teach me how to pronounce that Afrikaan name, but it should be easy enough as the series goes on. Starting off well for Darkness here, another shot off the bow, just going to rattle the upright. Not quite enough for them to get away with this one, but 30 seconds in, they're looking like the much stronger side.
I was putting on a lot of pressure here, but opportunity to break out. It is chipped high, almost redirected down towards net, but that's a double commit, so a lot of space for forehead here. Trying to get down, last player to fake out. No, not going to happen. The goalie stands strong and launches it downfield, but it's a counterattack once again. Back and forth it goes off the wall here. Can they put it center for a teammate? Just off the wall. It's going to be a dribble out. First opportunity for Rawlers perhaps on the offense, but not quite yet. It is all Darkness controlling that pressure.
It's a bit of a veritable tennis rally these last few moments. Going back and forth down the field, but as you said, Darkness had the best of things. The lion's share. Rawlers with a bit more opportunity on the front foot here. Free shot for Terrorbill, just hurtles it wide to the right side. But they've got the space, they're working with it. Joker comes flying in to try and finish off their second attempt as well. Not quite enough, but they've still got the pressure on, and right off the sidewall, almost deja vu as Terrorbill gets so much space to go for this shot. All the way across to the top right. Darkness looking a little loose on the opposite side, even though they had a good stint at the beginning of this game on offense. Defense, they've crumbled almost immediately.
I mean, incredible. You know, they start off Darkness with so much pressure here, and then Rawlers just pushes out to the half, gets some great connections going, and now it is all in their hands. They have the goal on the board, that confidence, and now the momentum to push farther, look for more goals. And that's going to be a tough breakout here, but a pinch for Darkness is going to go way downfield. Off the backboard it is. Now looking for a shot. It's going to go just off the post there. They're still mounting this pressure to try and see if they can break through Rawlers. But Forehead is going to stay in front of that ball, but not with the Joker. Takes such a great 50. One flick, but not a second one.
Very little time being spent in the midfield here as Vahid comes in. Finally gets the shot that he was looking for. Pins it bottom left. Gets that equalizer just shy of the halfway mark in game one. I'm talking about it a lot. The back and forth nature of this game. Barely any time in the midfield. It's just offense and defense. And somehow they managed to find a way through this time because it started to become a trend for Darkness where they were just hitting the uprights, crossbar, the posts, the fourth defender, the most reliable one, as Lanza and Rhino posited earlier in the evening. And it didn't quite work in Rawlers' favor this time, but they do have some momentum going forward here. Terrorbill coming in as the third man, gets it past all of them. It's just going to float to the midfield, thankfully for Darkness. Someone wanted to commit to it. Joker with plenty of boost, takes his time to go high, gets accosted in the mid of his aerial there. And does manage to find a way back to the midfield here. Illegal. Going to be pushing this across to Oyster. Just Quizster even, as they actually get in front of each other. Ruining their chances sometimes going forward here, Zectec. And I'm wondering if that's going to hurt them as the series goes on.
Oh, S putting it in to go up 2-1, and it seems like Rawlers here. Speed is one of their strengths in this matchup. Looks like it is to their advantage. It's really have to get a lot of great plays here, get past that defense, work around when they're not ready for it. Sometimes it does bite them on the defensive end if they rotate too much or around too far. We'll see if they can hold this lead, or if they're just going to tie it up again. It looks like a little space, perhaps a 1v1. The flick up to the backboards there, a follow-up play. The shot is there, but it's blocked away by 2.
Panic stations for Darkness there, as they needed all 3 defenders, 2 committing on that goal line save. And thankfully for them, all the shooting boots weren't quite laced up to find that third, that 2-goal lead. So crucial in the game of Rocket League, we know this, and they could be going for it here as Joker comes flying forward, but I managed to get it away off the backboard. But Boost isn't looking great for this Shadow side. They managed to control the ball well enough at least to keep it away from the paws of Rawlers. The Order of Okes comes bashing down your door. They're not going to waste their time doing it. As Legal all the way down the other field. Some breathing space for Darkness here on the opposite side. They might prefer being on offense, spending time down here, but it's just going to be a free clear for Terrorbill. Bit of a sharp reset as S managed to get this to backboard. Another free shot for Terrorbill. Looks to hit that top right corner once again, but not quite enough. And as the final minute dawns, the onus is on Darkness as they try to find their way through. I thought that might have been on target, but unfortunately for them, unable to steer it between the uprights.
Blocked by Jokers there, but it does go back towards net. S able to block it away, but Boost is far and few between here, but it doesn't matter. Joker's just going to launch one on net, and the defense just isn't ready for it.
That's just free. I mean, it's a simple clear from S across the Joker, just splits the difference between all 3 defenders. No one in the right position to deal with this. Plenty of boost as well, but they just got caught looking. With a 2-goal lead now, as I said, so important to get that cushion. With 30 seconds left, it's become so much harder for Darkness, more so than it already was. Vahid off the sidewall. Great touch from Terrorbill to keep possession out of their favor. S all the way in the corner, finds that corner boost as well, so can just do whatever they want with this up to the backboard, killing as many seconds as they dare. This one dropped down by Joker. Terrorbill just ults for the 50. That's smart play. Keep possession there. Another pass to the midfield. Another shot attempted. Vahid having to jump all the way across with 0 boost just to try and defend, never mind go up and score. As the seconds tick away once more, the death knell is sounded for Darkness in game 1. And it felt a little bit too easy towards the end of that game, the embers of it, the final minute or so. Order of Okes had complete control of the boost, and they recognized when they needed to take their time, be the patient players, and they did that so elegantly, especially getting that 2-goal cushion as well. Really helped their mental going forward. And for Darkness's sake, well, we posited it at the beginning of the series, both of them coming off a sweep. They have this stream experience, but it looks like Rawlers are the veterans here.
Yeah, and interesting stats here between the boost consumption and field domination. You know, Order of Okes using so much boost here, but it was, of course, Shadow that was on so much of the field. And so it looks like Order of Okes just, maintaining that boost control, using it all up, and then just counterattacking, striking downfield when necessary when they found that gap. And that's just what broke down that defense. here, as it just wasn't quite enough to close out.
Do you think that has been a factor at all? Being on stream, obviously, Darkness, they swept last week on stream, 18 goals to 6 against Centurions, and you can say what you want about that. Centurions are at the bottom of the table. They may not be the strongest team that they've come up against at all, and the Rollers are a bit more of a stronger outfit, as you could clearly see them in their league position. But a 3-1 there, Rollers just had so much control in it. Is it just game 1 jitters, or is this a problem that's going to become so much worse for Darkness going forward?
Game 1 jitters absolutely could be it. Of course, it's always the consideration of, are they overconfident from last week in that 3-0 and scoring so much? But Vlad is going to put that one in. Start off the scoring game number 2, so perhaps they're getting it back under control. Walking in here, as it just perfectly placed far side defense could not stop them.
Mental reset, exactly what they will be requiring here on game 2 here on Sovereign Heights. Sometimes the lights can shine a little too bright. They managed to get one on the board. Now control is in their favor, got that handicap. And Rollers the ones that are going to have to respond. They do so with a demo at legal, at the control, all the way across to the front of the red net, orange net I should say, of the Rollers. The Order of Okes lose possession here. Vahid was looking for the second even, as I get my numbers correct. Legal managed to finish it off, however, a great assist from the Darkness team here. And they managed to get the second goal instantaneously, almost, when they struggled so much in the first game to even hit the target. This is great moments for them, and a great way to bounce back, especially after the last game's defeat.
I mean, that's how a double into a pass is a fantastic mechanical showing, but Terror Bill's going to take an open net shot here to put one on the board for Rollers, as Joker, instead of going for the shot, spots the open teammate, no other defender's back, and that is some beautiful communication and spotting out your teammate. Great job by Rollers there to connect and put one on the board. We're not even a minute into this game, and it's already 3 up. So I think this might be a little bit of a shootout this game.
I mean, hailing from the EU scene, I know what Elite is like. I'm a player in it, how crazy it can be in terms of shooting and scoring. That's what you tend to see as you rise up the ranks, as the offense becomes so much more nuanced, so much more vicious. Teams and players bare their teeth in that regard. They want to get more mechanical, they want to get more dangerous going forward. And that seems to be the case so far here in game 2, as they're going to be looking for the third. Darkness recognize that they struggled on the offensive side, and now they're doubling down on that. They don't care about defense necessarily. If you could just score more goals than your opponent, then that's all fine with them. As S manages to control this, gets a nice little touch, but Vahid wants to push it all the way back down the field, only to Joker. We've seen that a few times now. Vahid struggling with the boost control in the plays that he's making, but managed to get an incredible touch here. Finds his brace, was already on the backboard, circling like a shark. A true poacher's goal here. As well, I mean, the offensive pressure there from Darkness, all 3 players just converging on the edge of that Roller's box, and in such a threatening position. They got punished for it on the counter from game 1, but they managed to consolidate that control here in the second, and really capitalize upon this poor showing from Rollers on defense.
Try to keep it in the air there, moving forward. Darkness is just trying to keep control of this. But Rollers, for now, the defense is standing strong. But they got to break out here. A big launch downfield through the center. They might have an opportunity here, but does bounce up. Now it's up, it's floating. Is there a pass? Not quite. It's going to be Terror Bill. Try to control this and get past the last 2 defenders here. Soft touchdown means S is opportunity to pop up, but can't follow it himself. And now it's off the backboard here. Can we get a shot across? Perhaps. No, a big block comes through. So now, off to the backboard. Can Terrible double it up? No. Cleared away, in Darkness now on the offense.
He's throwing me off. I see S every time it comes on the screen. He's got a white card, but Darkness are the white team. So I'm getting confused by that, but there's nothing confusing about this finish. Once again, an assist from Vahid as he managed to get it across and down. Kind of fortunate bounce for Darkness there. And very much the opposite for Rollers' defense. Is now a 3-goal lead at just the halfway mark. 5 goals all told. And it's just looking worse and worse for the Order of Okes here. But Terrible with a nice little touch into the sky, attempting the reset as well, but Twister having none of it. Legal to come flying forward. Picked up a brace himself, looking for that third, I am sure. Hat-trick is always an aspiration for these strikers going forward, as S attempts to pick it up off the sidewall, managed to maintain possession, but not enough in the tank to follow up his own touch. And now trying to get it to the third man. That's very risky play, especially in their situation. But they've got to go forward. They have to make these high-risk plays in order to get back 3 goals. It's such a difficult deficit to face down, especially in your second game of the series. So they're going to have to put their ideas up. So we see, is that a rule 2? I call it a rule 2. I don't know if you call it a rule 1, Zach, but it's a 2v2 right now.
Yeah, they are locked up, and now we are in this 2v2. A different dynamic, of course, than the 3v3. And we see a little more individualized plays here. A little more aerial play, a little more mechanics. I think it did get broken up, actually. So we get to see an opportunity here. Back to the 3v3, I believe. And yes, it has been broken up. We'll see, is there a little Karmic Justice going to come through? Is it purely a happy happenstance for whichever team scores next?
It certainly won't be happy for Rawlers should their situation continue as it is. As an attempt from S comes flying forward. Terrabil gets another bite of the apple as well, but with a minute left, it's looking less and less likely that Rawlers will manage to find their way back. But a team bump does open up the space. Joker rattles it off the crossbar, unable to finish a wide open chance. And that just about sums it up for them here in game 2. When they do get the opportunities, they're not managing to finish them. They come few and far between, and only at the behest of Darkness's mechanical misplays. The Joker does find some space here to work with. Resets a little too late as Arid again managed to get that defensive touch away. Has done so much on the defensive side for his team, but not quite enough this time around, as that deficit is once more broken down. Terrabil finds, I believe, first of the game. And 30 seconds left. Maybe a little bit of confusion and chaos here in the Darkness camp.
Brawlers, I mean, down to 30 seconds left is absolutely possible, but you need to absolutely play perfect here. Lock in your best play, stay on top of every ball, make sure you are getting just the right speed. You're trying to read the defense right now. And we got a breakaway play through the sky. One player down low to help out. The reset will not get over the defending player. It looked pretty, but it just wasn't quite going to happen here. A block dunk there, but just not on target. And that is going to be another opportunity by the wayside. And that will end it. 0 seconds. Even if they score now, it will not help. And that does mean that Darkness tie it up here. 1-1 in the series.
Just like the series prior. Gone 1-1. Equality has happened once more. And I think the wildest thing about this is the fact that a prospect player had more consistent mechanics in terms of offense and aerial than Elite seems to be having right now. We've seen plenty of attempts at resets and not so much double taps, but I'm sure they'll be wanting to go for them when they can. And they just haven't been coming off for Rawlers. Maybe team play is the order of the day. Maybe individual plays just aren't working, as we see here from Fahid. Look how incredible he's been throughout this. I mean, not any saves on the board, but he's been making saves before they were shots. Defensive, proactive defense is especially something that I tout a lot, and had been doing that exceptionally well. And that's not to mention the goals and the assists. Doing everything for his team in this second game to rally back after that defeat in the first, and at the same number as well, the same amount of goals, basically 2-0 in the first and the second game. And now looking forward, well, with equality restored, it's becoming less and less easy to determine which way this series is going to go. We knew they were close in the table in the standings, and we knew that they were both coming off of sweeps. It just seems to keep going the same way. I mean, it's a swing set. It's going back and forth, and it's very, very difficult to determine just exactly who is going to get the upper hand here on the third game.
Yeah, an interesting stat I've noticed so far is that whoever has greater field control actually tends to lose the game and have lower score. So it seems almost like whoever is overextending gets punished for it. And so a lot of this game might be, really calculating when you're going to go for this ball, how much you're pushing for it, how much boost you're expending. Because if you go too much, you run out of resources, you put yourself out of position, and then you're going to get absolutely punished for it. So right now, it is Order of Okes, Rawlers here, who are trying to make something happen. Off the ceiling it goes here, looking for a bump, but not quite going to happen. Blocked in the midfield, but the 50 goes the way of Darkness. So now, Rawlers trying to block this out. Defender doesn't get in the way, and Varide is going to put that one just behind the defender.
So we see exactly the same thing happening as it did in the prior game. Arid managed to get the first goal for Darkness once more early doors. And doing this did help them. Going forward on Sovereign Heights, managed to get 4 goals in the end. They'll be looking to do that once more, I'm sure. As if I'm not mistaken, I believe field domination is a measure of how long the ball is in the opponent's half in your color. So in that regard, it would mean if you have really long clears and the ball is just floating for a long time in the opponent's half, well, after you've hit it, that ups your field domination, if I'm not mistaken. And so whichever team tends to go for the long clears and has to boom the ball all the way down the field probably has more field domination by the end of the game. And the team that controls it for less time in the opponent's half generally has less, but it's inconsequential in a lot of regards of the game because we already have an equalizer here just 30 seconds later as a stint right down the middle from Terrabil. Easy enough to go through that, as you were talking about how risky it can be to have that higher field domination, because it means you're left open for the counter-attack. If your rotation isn't there, if the third man isn't diligent and recognizes the threat posed by their opponent as another one comes flying through here for Rawlers, then you're going to get punished for it, and that seems to be the situation unfolding for Darkness so far.
Darkness, a lot of control and pressure down the field, but once they start getting bumps here, that physical play is really opening up the field for Rawlers and creating opportunities here. As we see again a bump come through, the demo opens up the midfield for a counter opportunity. Not going to happen right now, but it's still an opportunity here. Rawlers gotta try to control this, clear this away somehow. As far as a little bit of space, he's going to chip it up to the backboard, try to read it himself, perhaps. No, off to the side, and S trying to put some pressure on. Joker is there, shot, but it's blocked away.
Some lovely little touches and turns here, some cuts from Rawlers' offense, and they're making it awkward for Darkness to try and get back up the field. Low boost plays can be so devastating to your rotation and your attempt to find some consistency going forward. But it's a nice little pass down. VuDu managed to snipe the bottom right corner, get that lead back in their favor. As this passing play from Darkness, exactly what I talked about after the first game. Maybe team plays where they need to look instead of going for individual solo plays. I'm sure they're capable of them on their best days, but sometimes that's just not the path you want to take against a team that recognizes that and is able to match you stride for stride on the ground and in the skies. And they managed to get one back here. Now it's Rawlers off the backboard. Going to be a free shot for Terrabil, but it's just going to be hit it straight into the ground. Not the angle that he was attempting to get. And unfortunately for them, they cannot bring this game back to equal. As VuDu looking for the second man again, straight across to Legal. Terrabil did recognize it, but not quite quick enough. The boost isn't there for them as S going to get a relatively free clear here, but just offers up possession back to Darkness. Now they push forward once again.
Some intelligent 50s coming through for Rawlers, but his ability to finish and get some accurate touches on the ball. Other than that, is just not been coming through. And VuDu's going to punish with a beautiful dunk there. Just floating, sees the attacker, jumps, and oh no, off the nose. It's the own goal. That is unfortunate.
That's just, I mean, it's awful to see, obviously, for Rawlers. He had to make an attempt there, Terrabil. Just so happened to be the worst one that he could have made. Puts it into his own net. And now makes it a 2-goal deficit. Once again, they're looking for the third instantaneously. Terrible with a nice little touch. Going to get it all the way over this Darkness defense. Finds the way back. Redemption for this man who just conceded on his own net. Managed to send it right back down the other side of the field. And bring it back to a close game once more. But it just feels like they're one step, like it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Or 1 step forward, 2 steps back, I should say, in regards for Rawlers. They managed to get one, but they just can't find a way through. As that one's a nice. Again, I was confused. I thought S was a Darkness player, but he's not. He just went up and completely pushed Darkness player out of the sky there. I believe it was VuDu that wanted to go in for that aerial. But they can't quite get that 2-goal lead back again. They attempt it here as. Oh my God, I shouldn't even speak, Kazek. Because as soon as I say it, I curse Rawlers. Apparently, is legal with an incredible double tap here. Was flying up to the sky off the crossbar, uses it to pass back to himself. And we find ourselves at the same scoreline as the end of game 2, but with a minute on the clock left. Rollers have an opportunity, but they struggled to do it last time.
Yeah, beautiful doubles. And I think really just the striking here has just been on point for Darkness, something that Rawlers just hasn't been able to lock in this game. And I mean, the pressure's been there, the opportunities have been there, but now the defense is trying to break it down a little bit here. Rotation just isn't quite there as Twister is going to put it bottom right corner, just slide it right through the defense.
The team above in the table starting to show their quality, what they're actually capable of. Game one, maybe a blip on the radar. And this is what we're actually here to see. Eagle, Twister, and Clyde showing their true colors. And Brawler's just getting washed away, it seems. Terrible forced to take this to his own backboard. Gonna lose possession as a result. I hate to Legal. Seen that link up happen a few times. Really starting to frighten Brawler's defense here. And I'm not surprised at all. As 30 seconds left, this game is all but done. 3 goals, 1 goal every 10 seconds. It's not going to happen because there's just going to be another one here for Darkness, as I believe that picks up his hat trick. Nice touch to the ceiling, keeping possession out of the defense's paws, and well, Joker did his best, his damnedest, but it's all over in game 3 here. And Darkness, just such sheer control, and you mentioned it yourself, the consistency in striking, the opportunities that they create, finding each other on the field and finishing them off. It's been a pleasure to watch.
And just taking advantage of Brawlers, just miscommunication on the defensive end. Those defensive rotations just haven't been locking in. They've been going too wide. Players with too few boosts have been cutting to try to take control of the ball, and it ends up just being a lack of control and the inability to follow through on plays and touches. And here we go. Darkness and Shadow Esports going up in the series 2-1, which means they are on match point or series point. And I mean, a 6-2 game. That is a strong take here in game number 3.
Guaranteed a draw and moved up a spot in the table. They're above Prowlers for the time being at 12 games. They're now matched with second and third Delta Force and Ostrom. Should they win this final game and get a victory here, they will be sitting pretty going into week 6 in second place. Actually, technically they'll be in first based on goal difference. Prototype are on 7, Darkness on 14, and of course now we'll be improving that quite significantly based on these scorelines. So come the end of the week, they are likely going to be in first position. Of course, Delta Force still yet to play tonight. In fact, they'll be coming up next. That'll be interesting to see for people following the table and the league situation. And for anyone not aware, of course, SSA, they play 1 series a week. There's only 4 games to play for, makes every single one that much more crucial. And Rawlers especially will be very cognizant of that fact, only having 1 so far in this series. They'll be desperate to get that second game back, this 4th game back even. And maybe try and push that gap even further between them and Queens just below. But right now, all they have to focus on is regaining, reorienting themselves. Getting beat like that on stream 6-2, it can be debilitating for your psychological merits, but they just have to think fresh start, 5 more minutes on the clock, 0-0. That's all they can do. They've already won a game this series. They know they can do it. It's just believing in that.
Yeah, it's just taking that breather and communicating as a team, just like, hey, we need to make sure these rotations are nice and tight, nice and clean. We're always saying who's going for it, who's got boost, who doesn't. Make sure we're working as a team to provide boost for one another, and not just trying to, solo play, hero play our entire way through the game, as that can be dangerous, but it's just blocked away on the defense. As Joke here, again, no boost on the defense. Terrible's going to leave it for S. Great play. The S did have more boost, more possibility there, but he just hands it away off that possession on the back line. So Terrible's got to fight his way through his own corner. As Legal takes it center, but S is going to launch it downfield off to the side as Twister off the side wall. Another strike off the backboard, trying to follow this up. Brawlers looking a little dangerous here now, but no one's going to go up to follow that one, so they do lose that possession.
A nice little bump on Twister there. Was sitting ready for the pass to come through and redirect it as Legal just trying to barrel his way through, bully his way through all 3 defenders there. Managed to cull 2, but couldn't quite get past the 3rd, as Darkness can't score as quickly as they did in the 2nd and 3rd games. going to mention Quista, in fact, because it feels like he's sort of dropped out of the limelight. You see most of the plaudits go towards Legal and Bahid especially throughout this series, but he's been doing the little things. Due diligence is working out for them. But it's a much more equal game already, as we can clearly see here on Wasteland. A little bit more disruption coming in favor of Rawlers. There's all 3 players on the front post here for Shadow. Terrorbill, not quite enough boost to capitalize upon that, but they still have possession in this white half, and they'll be looking to maintain it. Oh no, that's such an but he missed!
Oh!
Thankfully, Rawlers defense there.
Thinking the lucky stars there, but the bump off the backboard means that the one player left can't stop it. Varhide puts that one on target, smashes it back post, and the defender just couldn't get it. And man, just the amount of pressure and again striking out of darkness has just beaten down Brawlers. Brawlers got so close in that last drive, so many good physical plays and bumps and demos, but just the lack of boost control and boost efficiency ultimately means that they just don't have the resources to capitalize on these opportunities here. So once again, Joker's going down with 0 boost towards net.
Does he have enough? Not quite enough boost, but actually fakes out the defender, expecting a double tap to come through there. But Quista, becoming the man of the hour now, finds that second goal. Could be the final goal should Rawlers even actually manage to get one on the board this time. They're struggling once again. Rocket League sometimes very much a game about inevitability. Someone has to score, of course, even if it's only one. As Joker's off the kickoff, they get it immediately right back. But we've seen this story before where they manage to get one, they maybe manage to get 2, but they just cannot get that little last thing that gets them forward and gets them over the hump that is Shadow Darkness. They can't manage to outshine them and bring some light into the series for their sake. Of course, they're only playing for a draw. That can be psychologically damaging as S.
Oh no!
I don't even know what occurred here. All he had to do was hit the ball, but for some reason, backflips off of it. Can he get a chance here? Gets the flick over one, but it's not quite enough. As mechanical errors gonna be their downfall. That had to be a shot on target at the very least. The defender was coming in from the far post, but if that was anywhere near the right side of the net, that's an equal game for Rawlers.
It does seem like S is buckling under the pressure here, mechanically and positionally. Just trying to get into the right places, does get there, has the opportunity to score, but then just mechanically can't follow through. Man, just hands to be so shaky right now. Just so uncertain, trying to make things happen for your team, but you've let them down 2 times now with a 1-goal deficit. You gotta close it out now, perhaps off the corner. Shot opportunity is taken away by Varhide.
A little housekeeping for anyone that doesn't know. S, I believe, is Spiker on this roster of Order of Oaks. Opted to shorten his name. Maybe intimidate this Darkness side, but it's not working. There's a team bump there. Joker and Terrorbill colliding in the skies. That cannot be happening at this stage of the game, of the series. 2 chances just gone completely begging, utterly wasted for them to bring this back to equality. This was sent hurtling across the Darkness net, not quite enough for anyone to find it. Legal getting in the way of Terrorbill, slowing down their momentum on the offensive side by looking for Quista. That was a pre-jump pass. That was an incredible opportunity for them to get a 3rd goal and pretty much seal this series. But as it stands, it's still tentative. It's still precarious here for Darkness. 19 seconds left. Joker trying to find his teammate S here. Wanted to redeem himself. Goes up high, gets it off for another one. Fakes the shot, but then it comes through and somehow, I think that was Quista, read the fake. Managed to get in front of the attempt. As this one across to Terrorbill, it's not going to be enough. Last chance. If the ball hits the ground, Rawlers will have lost this series. Can they flick it over one? Terrorbill does, but it's just going to be Quista. Doesn't opt to spike it. Joker's there, but it's not quite far enough for S to collect it. And chances wasted, spurned here for Rawlers will be their downfall. Shadow Esports, I'll be completely honest, it felt like they got away with things in that last game. They managed to get it over the line, but not necessarily entirely on their own merit.
And it just seems like at the end of the game. I was like getting so nervous here. Order Okes, just the communication broke down, some of the mechanics. You know, you see those double commits in the air as well as just the missed shots. And it's just an unfortunate opportunity. They had so many good opportunities to tie it up. It wasn't a runaway play like some other games. You know, they weren't up by 2, by 3. It was a 1-goal game for the majority of that game. And they just could not close that distance. And so Darkness here showing up, showing out. And I mean, the whole team really pulling together to make it happen. Varhai taking the MVP spot that last game. And that is going to do it for them. They take this series and they move up in the rankings there. Well, Order of Okes, unfortunately, is just suffering for that, hoping to regain for next week.
A provisional first place there. Statistically, they were massively in favor. I think it was 8 shots to 3 in that final game. And you wouldn't have believed it based on how it was actually going. A 2-1 in the end. And as you called it out, Arid managed to get the MVP performance, 8 goals, 3 assists, and 1 save. 0 demos, surprisingly. Spending his time doing a lot more shooting than demolishing on the offensive side there. I'm surprised about it. Great performance from the whole team, to be fair, but yeah, on the offensive side, definitely this man right here gets all the accolades, the praise for that. But for Rawler's sake, that felt like a game they could draw. I mean, a lot of the time it felt like a game they could win. Maybe not after game 2, but after game 1, they clearly had some momentum, and it just seemed to crumble by the end. 20 shots more from Shadow. That's you don't need to look at any other stat to know that's exactly why they lost this series. They just could not control the midfield or their defense. 16 demos from Rawlers is ridiculous. Didn't seem to help them. But yeah. Crazy series for them, and well, congratulations to Darkness, provisional first, and it's back to the drawing board for Order of Okes here.
Yeah, close series, tough games, but that will be the end of that one. We do have another one coming up. I do believe we have BeerMasjien here to help take us over to that next series. Welcome back, BeerMasjien.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. That was quite an interesting series. Personally, I'm a little bit sore, being an Oak from the Order myself. But very well played there. It was a fantastic series to watch, and it was all over the place, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that first game, we thought, okay, this one could go either way. Both teams coming off a sweep. Darkness had the stream experience, of course, but Rawlers took it. Second game, 6-2. Okay, now we're starting to, actually, I think it was maybe the third game. But yeah, incredible performance from Darkness. They managed to show us exactly why. Well, now they deserve to be in first spot in the Ignis Conference in Elite. And well, it should be very interesting considering the next game is from Delta Force, who are going to be looking to take that top spot right back.
Well, you can actually have a look here. Before it started off, Darkness was in 5th place. Rawlers were in 6th. So that win will push them up to 1st or 2nd if nothing else changes. But that is going on games played. There are 1 or 2 above them who haven't played as well. But they will be very pleased with that result.
I certainly hope so. I mean, as I said, I believe it's Prowlers that still had a series to play, and Delta Force, which are playing right now. They're going to be going up against, I believe it's Queens. Yeah, Queens. So they'll have maybe been looking at this and thinking, okay, they're a game above us now. They have the great opportunity to win this and maintain their position at the top of the table. Best goal difference in the conference as well. So I'm expecting them to be a strong contender up against Queens all the way down in 7th. But I mean, that series alone was enough entertainment for me. I'm hoping for some more going forward. But yeah.
And Zach, any standout moments from that series for you?
I mean, just some great passing out of Darkness there. We saw some great passes out of the opponent's corner into the midfield to set it up. Little 1-2 passing plays. And then that one double tap by Legal was just fantastic. You see him going up. It's like, oh, maybe he'll get a bump or something. Pass up to him. No, he's just going to dunk it himself. And that was absolutely beautifully done. I think just great job by Darkness to link up as a team, always be communicating, working for one another in your challenges and your passes. And I think that is what is going to take them above and beyond all of these other teams.
Well, it was a very, very good game to watch. We are busy sorting out an interview for the winning side. And look, we've still got a whole bunch of Elite Rocket League ahead of us. But, Vectors, from what you've seen so far, what have you been your thoughts? I mean, look, you were complaining that you weren't put up to the Elite tier this evening. Has it met your expectations?
I mean, as I said before, it was a jest. I do enjoy the prospect and royalties. There's a lot of chaos there. It's a lot of unpredictability. You don't know what's going to happen. And I did enjoy my time casting those matches. But yeah, as the tiers go up, the skill level goes up, your expectations do as well. And after that series, I mean, there was some mechanical attempts. It was mostly from Darkness that we're seeing from that, but you can just see the speed of the game going up. And I think Zek mentioned it briefly as well. The communication breaking down for rollers. As you go up the skill level, communication becomes so much more crucial because the game becomes more based on deception and your ability to coordinate with your teammates in order to do things like fakes and passing, etc. As teams get better and better at recognizing your offensive plays, they get better at defense. So you've got to start thinking of ways to work around that, and that only comes with communication. So that's the kind of thing I expect to see as you go up into Elite, into Master, and we saw that a couple times, and we saw the breakdown of that, especially from Order of Okes. No offense, Bromeo, but it was entertaining through and through, and I'm hoping for some more of the same with Delta Force and Queens coming up next.
Well, you heard it from the man. Crucial deception, coordination, and communication. We do have our interview ready. Gents, I'll be right back with you. We have Varhate with us. Varhate. And again, a very similar silhouette to our previous interviewees. How you doing, man?
I'm good in yourself, Bromeo.
Good to have you. But I should be asking you, how are you feeling at the end of that game? You had an absolute screamer.
Yeah, thank you, man. I enjoyed it. It was just the first game we kind of chalked, getting our comms and getting the passes. Like, we were struggling, but then we came back, we locked in, and yeah, I'm just so proud of my team.
I think it was the second game or the third game where you absolutely dominated. Do you feel like that was the tipping point for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we got some like very clean passing plays, and I just felt like from there we were just in the flow state. We were just locked in and passing, and the comms was perfect. So yeah, that was definitely a tipping point in my opinion.
And having a look at this, you took a series MVP for that game, and you scored 8 goals.
Wow.
You know, did you know that you scored that many goals?
No, that's kind of wild. I was just so focused on the game, it didn't occur to me. But yeah, that's insane.
But honestly, truly well played. We have a question in chat. It's a dumb one, but it's from Nice Panda, so I'm gonna out him on stream. He wants to ask you, Varhate, how does one rocket leg?
How does one rocket leg? Like what? What does that even mean? Yeah.
I just want you to tell Nice Panda that he asks dumb questions.
Yeah, Nice Panda. I don't know. I don't know, man. Just my answer is yes. Yeah.
Just yes.
Yeah, just yes.
There's your answer. But for lack of any other serious questions in chat, Varhate, you played incredibly well. Your team played incredibly well, and now that you've taken this dub, it can possibly shoot you up to possibly second position. I'm not sure if you've done the maths.
No, I've not, but yeah, that seems right. Yeah,
that's just alright. It's doable. It's fine.
Yeah. Not where we want to be, but yeah, it's.
But you obviously aiming for top spot. Is there anything you're going to aim to do differently, or you're going to keep consistent and trust in the process for the rest of the season?
Yeah, no, we gonna trust in the process. I mean, once we get going, it's over for our opponents. So yeah, we're gonna keep on with the comms and keep on with the passing plays, and it's gonna go great.
Alright, I wish you the best of luck and hope to see you back on stream sometime soon. And well done again, man.
Yeah, thank you, Bromeo. Have a nice stream, mate.
You too, man. So there you have it. Varhate the Truth himself Had an absolute cracker of a game. I'm back with my lovely casters who are lovely and correctly labeled now, Vector and Zektek. I will not bore you guys with any further details. We do have some games to crack on with. Our very next game up, let me confirm for you guys quickly. I had to switch tabs to just look at how good Varade was. But if somebody's going to need to save me here,
Queens and Delta Force, Bromeo. Come on, man.
There we
Said it like
go.
3 times before you went to the interview. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. But Dynasty Queens, Delta Force, it's going to be an absolute humdinger as usual. And I'll leave it to you boys.
Thank you very much, Bromeo, once more. And I didn't quite catch that interview. I don't know if Varade was blasting my pronunciation of his name, but we'll move on it. We'll move past it because we have to go to the next series of the night. Dynasty Queens versus Critical Force Delta Force. And I'm really looking forward to this one, not just based on the fact that these two teams, I mean, they're disparate in terms of position in the league table, 2nd and 7th, Delta Force 2nd and Queens 7th, but also based on the fact that this is a direct effect on whether or not the prior team, Dynasty, ends up actually staying in first come the end of the week, because Delta Force unique position now to, at the very least, if they get a draw out of this, they will be taking that first spot back.
Yeah, it is a battle at the top right now. And we see here our Dynasty Queens. Chase, a Clever Rabbit, and Tim Tam with their captain or coach as Sfaulcon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, great team here.
Not sure.
Excited to see how they do. We'll see if a Clever Rabbit has some clever plays, or if they're just going to be very fast around the field. We'll have to wait and see if maybe Chase will be chasing that ball. I will stop making puns about their names. So, Vector, what do you think this matchup's going to be like?
It's a great way to fill the time, I'll admit. But it's actually quite similar to the prior series. This is Queen's 2nd time stream, if I'm not mistaken, and Delta's first as well. Queens beat Swift 3-1 on stream last time they were on, 13 goals to 4. So again, some very similar storylines here between these two teams. But the one disparate change, of course, is the fact that Delta Force all the way up in 2nd place, 12 and 4, and Queens all the way down in 7th, just on the cusp of that play-ins cutoff, 7 and 9. So they are currently in a losing position right now. And they, of course, have never, Delta Force not drawn this season. 3 wins and 1 loss. They're looking like the stronger outfit. We see here Hard Flame Calamitin. And at Ford Helix, a big vehicle. I think there's a Ford car, pickup truck in the game. If he's not playing in that car, then I'm just going to blast him for the entire game, because, you know, you've got to put your money where your mouth is. Maybe Arts is on the field. We'll never know. Well, we will know once we actually get into the series. But yeah, as you were waffling before, I am waffling as well, Zektek, because I just want to get into it. I just want to see this gameplay, whether or not it matches up to the prior series as well, whether or not it's much more disparate because of the fact that these two teams are so far apart in the league table, or if it is just a matter of them being on stream, being nervous perhaps, or stepping up to the plate and really starting to shine. I think you mentioned it in the prior series as well. This is the moment where you need to step up and really show what you're capable of, because, well, you're on a live stream. That's just where that's the best opportunity to show the community exactly what you're capable of, and really put your opponent up to the sword. We'll just have to see which side is capable of doing that, as we start off relatively neutral here in the first game here on Driftwoods.
But a lot of esports decals inside of Delta Force. Love to see it there.
It's not in a pickup truck.
Ford Hilux, not in a Ford. How unfortunate. Anyways, Hard Flame going downfield, tries to get past Chase. Not going to happen. And we've seen a lot of boomer balls, some big hits this game compared to last game. You know, not so much control as it is speed and power coming through with these players here in game 1. Really testing the field, maybe testing each other, saying, do they take control? Do they boom it? How do they move across the field? And so, again, no scores here in the first minute. Some big passes, big plays. Low boost for Arts here on the back line. but a Clever Rabbit gonna take their time here. Ooh, we're actually slowing the ball down now. It'll pop out center. No shot yet. It's a backboard pass, perhaps. Shot coming in from Fort Hilux. It's a bouncer, but cleared away.
Yeah, and I think that's because of the fact that he's not in a pickup truck. Ford Helix not living up to his name and able to get that shot away for Delta Force. Find their first finish. Clever Rabbit attempts to be smart through the corner here, get a bumper two, but not quite going to work. Does fall to Chase. Follow up from Tin Man. Not Tin Man, as Tim Tam actually comes through and hits this one as the third man. Gets the first for Dynasty Queens and starts showing why it's not always so cut and dry in terms of league position. Queens, they do get the early lead here for the Dynasty franchise. And I'm just expecting, I don't know, maybe some more mechanics. It's early days, of course. We see that time and time again where players just throw the ball away, just hit it and hope. Can a lot of the time be not necessarily what they want to do, and they're forced to do it based on position or boost control. But it's something that really needs to start being consolidated and worked on as you go up the tiers and up the skill levels. There's a great stop by Arts there, prevents the second one coming through. But Queens, they're starting to really show a lot more control here.
Now Delta Force trying to push downfield here. Fort Hilux gonna take a little time. Pop it up, does get bumped off, so can't follow it up. Arts here now, trying to take it around. A little dribble pass. Hard Flame can't find that one, so Clever Rabbit to their own backboard here. Chase gonna pop that one. Tim Tam now, sole scorer. What? Now downfield, can't quite follow that. So Chase is up, being chased by Hard Flame. Another player up, pop to the far side, can keep it under control. Stealing the full boost. Tim Tam's awkward. It's off the backboard it goes, but Chase able to clear it away.
Ford Helix not living up to his name. Managed to get this one only to the first man as Hard Flame. Gonna have to take it all the way to his backboard. Soft reset here for both sides. Patient takes it past one, not quite past the second. That's gonna drop so awkwardly for the Delta Force defense to deal with, but they do manage to do so. There's so many D words in that sentence, I'm actually losing my mind that I just said that many. But Arts doesn't manage to get this one away. Tim Tam with a free shot, going to send it to the left side of the net. Ford Helix and Hard Flame managing to hold them off. Drop this one straight back down to another. They're just giving up possession here, coming out of defense, just hitting the ball straight back to Queens as they come forward through the rotation. Tim Tam managed to get a great read off this one. Helix has to retreat rapidly, but just drops it straight to Clever Rabbit, and I was blindsided by the demo for a moment there, but I saw it off the right-hand post. They cannot get the second goal. I mean, obviously they won it, but it's better that they're in this side of the half as the final minute is about to dawn. Delta Force, I mean, they can't even get out of their own half at this point.
So many fakes coming out of Queens on the offensive half here. Delta Force just trying to figure out how to clear it away with some control and power here. Arts gets a touch, but Fort Hilux gets beat. And now Hard Flame out of the back line has to control this, get it past this attacking player. But it's just relentless pressure and rotation out of Queens here as Delta Force is just struggling to get any sort of good opportunities downfield as Hard Flame couldn't quite get that one. Arts has to back off here, leave this one for Fort Hilux off the corner. The touchdown, no one there. Hard Flame forward, but no one's able to follow it up, so have to play defense once again, just not quite finding the connections out of their own half here as Queens up, shot, securing the second goal. A Clever Rabbit puts it home.
And it felt like at times that Delta Force have been crippled by indecision, not quite sure what they want to do with the ball at the time that they have it. Sometimes you're forced into that situation, as I mentioned before, just because of how much boost you have or don't have. And the position of your teammates, whether or not you can make a pass upfield. But they barely left their own backyard in the last 2 minutes. Owed so much to Queen's excellent rotation and positioning. Arts, once again, making a last moment save. At least saving their blushes and not making this scoreline look a lot worse than it very easily could have been. But Queens, diligent, decisive, so much more control than their opposite numbers. And throwing a wrench in the works of this one, of Delta Force's opportunities in the league table especially, because as much, I mean, they only need a draw technically to get back up to top spot. But as the games start to whittle away, as you start to fall further and further into that pit, it's so much harder to claw your way back out. And whilst this was a low scoreline, you can see from the shots there, only 2 for Delta Force and 7 on the side of Queens. Massively unexpected, I should imagine.
Yeah, Delta Force, they really got caught off guard here in this first game. Just not quite prepared to put it together as a unit. Those passes and getting out of their own half, I think was the biggest hurdle for them this game, and they just couldn't quite make it. They couldn't get a good clear with good follow-ups. The shots and the passes down the field just weren't connecting. They were getting shut down. And I mean, honestly, you got to give it over to Queens, just how well they were maintaining that pressure and communicating. I think they really just came out a lot stronger here in game 1. So can Delta Force now regain here in game 2 and start to put that pressure back on Queens?
First of all, they're going to have to spend a lot more time on the field because 8 demos to 1, they were in the scrapyard for half of that game. It was absolutely crazy how much disruption and demolition they managed to put forth there, Queens, and to have that offensive pressure as well. Their rotation has been excellent, and I'm sure they'll be looking to make it that much harder for Delta Force to find any sort of rhythm here on Sovereign Heights. The onus is on them. They're going to have to find some footing as we go forward into the second game of the series. Every single time they don't win a game, they'll be realizing once more we need to win because we need to get that first spot back going into week 6. I'm sure that's not exactly at the forefront of their minds at the present moment, but Queens very much in a strong position here. Regal from them. They'll have to continue to do so as a nice attempt by Hardflame off the backboard. It's just about stopped off the line by Chase. They're having to defend early on here, Queens, but they managed to get one forward. Chase with a nice little dink there forward, trying to get it off the front of the hood, but it ends up falling to Tim Tam to find another goal in this series, and much earlier than we saw in the opener. They're just continuing to roll.
Queens just making them question who's going for the ball. Is it going high? Is it going low? To commit. Third one isn't ready for the shot, and ultimately it's the speed and ability to get on top of the ball right now is all Queens. They just seem to be ready to be meeting any and every play and touch that Delta Force is trying to make here. They're stopping them. Now they had some opportunities, Delta Force, as they went downfield through the mid, some aerial plays, but they just couldn't get it on target while it was open. So then Queens, the nice easy clears after those misses. So can they shore up their offense right now? The shot is weak on target. I would have rather preferred to maybe see a pass or a fake play, even a double tap attempt, just something, anything to change it up and not just have a nice, simple lob on net.
So some nice attempts from Delta Force, not quite enough as Chase with the blue car on the yellow side, confusing my brain again. But they do manage to get a nice little touch here by Tim Tam. Maybe rush the second play, but it's going to be dropped down to a clever rabbit who's going to look to find his way through. I really thought they'd wasted that opportunity there. Tim Tam had a great touch to take it past one, flicked it a little too early, but HeLocs just offers it up on a silver platter straight down to the rabbit who pulls this one out of the hat, finds the second goal once again for Queens, and much, much sooner than they did in the first. You could spin this as positive for Delta Force, meaning they have a lot more time as this drops down precariously for Chase to deal with, but not quite worked out for Delta Force's offense once again, as that's going to start to be a trend, I feel. But they just have so much more consistency in every facet of the game here, Queens. Delta Force seem rocked. They seem like they're not quite understanding how to play in this environment, in the world that Queens seem to be creating. I did mention at the beginning, this is their first time on stream. That's always got to be a factor. There's nerves every single time and at every single level of the game. But as you get higher and higher, you have to be able to handle them as the expectations rise. So do the risks. And we're seeing that right here from Dynasty. Queens shirking the chains of 7th position in the league table, and showing us exactly why they deserve to be so much higher. But Delta Force, just got to do better.
The communication here at Delta Force just isn't quite clicking. They're having 2 players positioned for a play, but only one go. and just not positioning for a full field control. Having a lot of players on the ball, but just the follow-ups aren't there. The secondary isn't there. I think it just comes down to the communication of who's actually going for the ball, who's actually grabbing that boost. And the double tap almost comes through. A Clever Rabbit will finish it off, though. And that is another goal for Queens. 3-0 here with just under 2 minutes left. And it is an absolute domination right now.
As well, Tabaga's race there, Clever Rabbit, but that was all Chase. Excellent aerial. And showed the threat. Just kept bringing to the fore. Managed to get a nice pinch as well. Double tap wasn't quite enough, unfortunately. Would have liked to see that one fly in. But as a result, 3 goals regardless for Queens here, even stronger than they were in the opener. Looking for the 4th. This one just about marshaled away by Hardflame. Has enough boost to accost the second man as well, but Chase forced back into his own half through the corner. It doesn't really matter. They don't care so long as they have boost and possession. Field positioning. Hardflame has to come and save his teammate. Going backwards all the way to Chase, has the pass option, but opts to go to the left. Gonna try and take this one off the wall, not the shot that he was looking for, but it's still so dangerous for this defense to deal with. They just about managed to corral this one away as well. Arts had, I think it was 3 saves in the last game, a couple of them were goal liners, so and really showing up on the defensive side for his team, but it's not quite as enough. It's almost an own goal attempt there, it seemed like. Clever Rabbit just keeping it once more in the Delta Force half, and it's just exactly the same story as the first game, I'm afraid, Zek. It's hard to say anything new because there's nothing new happening. They're just penned into their own back line, they're passing to the opponents every single time they actually manage to get possession, and they have no control at all.
Every player trying to play first man. The second man's just too close. They're getting beat by the 2s, which means that it's come down to like essentially a 3v2 here for Queens. They are playing with an extra player with the way Delta Force is positioning here. And that is just not how you want to go forward here. After this game, it's going to be a major timeout, time to reconsider your strategy, your communication, and Tim Tam is really going to put the nail in the coffin here in game number 2.
That was beautiful to watch. I don't know how intentionally it was. I assumed that Chase was going to fake it out for Clever Rabbit to take it. Actually managed to get the touch. They still connected in midair to get that play across. I mean, just looking at that alone, you've got to give it to Delta Force. That's difficult to deal with at the best of times, even if you have a well-organized and well-coordinated defense, which obviously we clearly saw that they didn't throughout this game. But even if you did, that was hard to deal with, and it took all 3 players as well. Every single player getting an assist. Chase the only one that didn't score. Clever Rabbit the only one that didn't make a save, mainly because it was on the front foot constantly, was a resolute striker. Didn't need to make a save, it was barely in their half. As field domination there, as you can clearly see, 65 to 35%. It's the opposite. The numbers are a bit muddled. Queens had most of the control in that game, and almost over 1,000 more boosts consumed as well. And it is just utterly dominating for them. They haven't scored yet, Delta Force. I've only just realized they'll be completely
shut out,
washed out. That's insane.
Absolutely crazy. And honestly, in this break, this is the moment. As Delta Force, you gotta be like, all right, we gotta just empty the mind, toss the last 2 games out, and we gotta play for the team. I feel like too many players here are trying to play for that hero ball, for that solo play, I gotta make the play, I gotta be on top of that ball all the time, and they are not playing the good second man, not playing the good third man. And if they are second or third, it's either too deep, too far apart, or just not enough boost. And so right now, you really just gotta remember that, like, this is 3v3. We gotta play for one another and play all the positions on the field. And Delta Force, the opportunity that Arts couldn't quite finish it out, but a great start to this game. Seeing that opportunity here is Ford. Massive 50 will take it downfield here. Looking to maybe get the center for a teammate. He's going to leave it here for Hardflame. Arts in the Rule 1 decal, looking clean. Off the ceiling here for Ford. Hilux can't finish it off there, so it's Hardflame popping up to the sidewall. Can he get it center? Looking for the bump. Ford Hilux turns off, though, and didn't go for the finish. Didn't quite trust the play. And that is unfortunate, because opportunity could have been the only one they might get.
Snapshot there, an exhibit for the case of Delta Force's lackluster offense. Turning away from the play, miscommunication, not recognizing the opportunities that you're creating, doing so much work to build it up, and then just abandoning it, letting it fall apart at the final moment. A team at the very top, 23 goal difference, the best in the elite division. 59 goals scored, and they're being shut out by a team in 7th right now. I mean, I always say that league position is not necessarily an indication of how good the team is. Maybe at the end of the season, obviously it is. But you just never know, especially in elite, just how well a team can play. Sometimes they just turn up. Maybe being live on stream, maybe this pressure is precisely what the Queens thrive in and what they use as fuel, as energy to prove that they're so much better than their opponents here. And it's clearly working as Delta Force struggle to find any sort of consistency, and you said it yourself excellently. It's felt like 3v2 for a lot of this series, just falling on top of each other, getting in each other's way, not understanding what they're meant to be doing at any given time. As Timtown with a free shot all the way down the field, 2 players go up, that has to be communicated. Only one guy needs to go for that, and it just doesn't seem like they're talking to each other.
Now Chase off to the sidewall here, gets it past 1 to her back, but he grabs the full boost, gets the pass, and there it is, Timtam in position, giving them masterclass teaching to that supposed first place team on how you play second man and feed him as the first man. That is how you do it. Queens on the board, almost the halfway mark here, and Delta Force still shut out.
It's because he's not in a Ford. I'm just going to say right now, okay, you can't just call yourself Ford Helix and not play in a Ford. It just has to happen. It's Kirsty's team. That's the only thing that I'm going for. Is only just noticed now halfway through the game there's actually being a substitution. We're terrible at our job, Zek. Falcon has come on here in this 3rd game. They think maybe they've wait, oh, so many things are happening at once. Delta Force have finally scored. It's not a perfect sweep anymore. Oh, too many things are happening, Zek. Please save me.
A substitution for Queens. Sfaulcon is in. Arch has scored for Delta Force. They're on the board. It is the first tied point in the series, other than when it is 0-0 from the start of the game. Another opportunity here for Delta Force, but it goes by the wayside. Perhaps a stolen boost. Chase off the sidewall, launches it towards net. Hard Flame, though, able to block it away. And Delta Force starting to regain and figure out how to play Rocket League again. Perhaps off the sidewall here, a follow-up 50. Ford Hilux has got to try to read this ball. Off to the side, does get beat though. Arch as well. No one's back, and Sfaulcon will put in their first goal of the series. The super sub coming to the rescue.
It does seem somewhat strange to sub in Falcon here for a Clever Rabbit, considering how well Clever Rabbit has been playing. I think had like 3 goals maybe after the first 2 games. And I thought, okay, there could be any number of reasons that they've subbed out Clever Rabbit. Maybe had to leave, maybe they're just trying to get sub games in and they thought, okay, this is going really well. We don't need to worry about this Delta Force side. But now they're 2 goals to the good. And whether or not it's because they've found some form here, they've regained after those first 2 demolishments, if that's even a word, in the openers, or because there's been a substitution here and they've kind of thrown off their rhythm. We've seen Falcon obviously score there, but there are different parts of the game that really may have been disrupted by the fact that they brought in another player here. And should that be the case, they could be giving up an opportunity to take this one all the way. As another great attempt here from Delta Force is just about denied as multiple saves come to the fore here, just about keeping Queens in an equal game as they look to go back down the other side of the field. And things have really switched up. So many factors have changed, it feels like, going from game 2 to 3. And, well, it's got a lot more exciting, to say the least.
think it's even like consideration of, is it even like a mental play against Delta Force of like, yeah, sure, we're winning, we're destroying, so we're gonna sub and try we'll beat you even with our sub. And there goes Chase launching here from the sidewall through the air, beats 2 as he just takes it off of Fort Hilux, smashes it over Arts, and that is a 3-2 lead. 35 seconds left, still time, but Delta Force at this point, what do you do?
I mean, score again at the very least. They've managed to break the shutout, the curse of being unable to score at all. And now they've got 2 in the 3rd game. They're going to need at least 1 more for a chance at an overtime and a chance to salvage this series, to even play for a draw. But it's not even just about the substitution, whether or not it was a psychological play to bring in the 4th man. But Chase and Tim Tam good enough on their own, it feels like, after the first 2 games to beat out this Delta Force team, and it seems like that's the case. Falcon's goal notwithstanding, of course, but so much of what was working for Dynasty was their offensive rotation and their ability to be in the right place at the right time. And those 3 players, Clever Rabbit, Tim Tam, and Chase, were in lockstep. They were in complete sync. They were like a hive mind in their control and possession in the front half of the field. They managed to lock Delta Force down, a team with the best scoring record in the entire division, into their own defense, put them up against the wall, and completely shut them out. And now in game 3, we've had a substitution. Things changed. Things drastically have changed because it's gone to 3-2, and they've won the series. They'll be glad about that, I'm sure. But it was a strange decision to make in that situation. I just hope for their sake it doesn't come back to bite them in the 4th and final.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, Delta Force really just let that ball drop, even though they were getting 2 there. You saw near the end, there was one point where you see it from the back of their field, and you see all 3 players from the same side of the field, all halfway or farther, and it's just like, oh no. It is, the process is not running. We're not in 3v3 right now. We are in 2v2. We are in go. We are in I'm attacking the ball at all times, whether I am first man or not, and it is just unfortunate. But so we got to see here, can they get 1 to their name? I'll have to wait and see here as it's a pop-up. Now Sfaulcon still in the game here, still playing with that sub. So Hard Flame pops over to the side. Arts, ooh, doesn't quite get the touch there. Chase slow boost. Fort Hilux does get the touch over, and you gotta wonder, does Fort Hilux even own a Ford in the game?
That's the most pertinent question. It's the most crucial for me. But Queens will not give a damn. They will not give any sort of care whatsoever, because they're double tapping off the backboard 30 seconds into game 4 here on Wasteland, and looking like the stronger outfit all in all for this entire series. They've already won it. Now it is just about finding that 4th game. Of course, every single game matters. They will be aware of this, as will Delta Force. Now they cannot get back to 1st position. It's something that, I'll be completely honest, in my heart of hearts, I thought this was locked. I thought this was going to be a 3-1 for Delta Force at the beginning of the series. The Queens are coming off of a sweep loss, by the way. They lost to Cabo last week, and now they're here on stream about to sweep the team that was, I mean, champion-elect, was very, very close to being top of the table, still are close to the top of the table, and they've conceded to them as well. I do very much wonder whether or not this substitution has had a detrimental effect on Queens. As much as we could denigrate and disparage Delta Force's mistakes in the last game, it got them closer. It got them to a 1-goal game. And here is now 0 once again. And it's looking less and less likely every single time that Delta Force go forward that Queens are going to be able to stop them.
And oh, here it is, another breakaway play. Hard Flame. And for the first time this series, Delta Force has a lead.
It's crazy, the amount of goals they've scored this season. And this is the first time they have a lead against a team that I imagine they were completely expected to beat. On paper, they very much look like the stronger side. And they're faltering here as another demo on the Ford Hilux, not actually Ford Hilux. Just a regular old Fennec gets taken out. They'll not care because they've got the lead. They're back in a position of control. And now it's up to Queens to go forward. The pressure is back on them once again as this one goes scuttling across the front of the Delta Force net. Going to be another awkward situation to deal with. They do manage to escort it away. Arts with plenty of time on the ball, but not enough boost to take it past the last man. They were both on low boost, in fact, as Chase gets this one bounced off his back bumper. Tim Tam is in just the right place to prevent any follow-up there for Delta Force to find their third. And Queens, well, much seems to have changed. 6 goals in the first 2 games, 0 for their opponent. Just about eked it over the line on the third, and now they're in dire position in terms of trying to get a sweep out of this series. They'll be happy just to get a 3-1, of course, because it helps their league position regardless, but they'll desperately want to get a 4th. They got swept last week, they'll want to sweep now.
There's Fort Hilux with the first goal of the series. And, I mean, just glad you get something on the board. But now a 3-1 lead. Delta Force bringing it back. It's a little something maybe familiar with what they're used to in this league. You know, being up by a good bit. You know, can they keep this scoring going? Or will Queens shut them down? And once again, we'll have to wait and see. Big clear here, so they're going to chase this down. Fort Hilux with a shot far side, just off the crossbar, and couldn't put it home.
Yeah, they're desperate to get this 4th because they will be provisionally in 5th. They would still be in 4th based on goal difference because Prowlers are much higher. They're on 11 games and they're still yet to play, of course. So we will have to see whether or not they're capable of bringing this one back. They're used to being in the lead and not the opposite. But this incredible 50 from Tim Tam wasn't quite enough to bring that deficit right back down. Sfaulcon through the corner, not quite enough. Collides bumpers with the second man. Arts all the way back down the field, not enough to control it. Chase to the backboard again, already scored a double tap at the beginning of this game, hasn't had the opportunity again so far. Sfaulcon tries to get it through once more. Chase to the backboard, they're much more used to this, controlling the front foot, keeping possession, but I mean, I keep harping on about it, but I honestly think it's had such a detrimental effect on their rotation, bringing in the 4th man. This would have been done and dusted, I honestly feel. No offense to Sfaulcon, if Clever Rabbit was still on the field, I don't think they'd be in this position.
There's something you have to wonder about here as Sfaulcon, you know, just putting some pressure on here, trying to go downfield, but Delta Force working around as Sfaulcon a bit better than they were. Clever Rabbit, yeah, of course, see Clever Rabbit with some great plays, double taps, even a little reset play. Now, Fort Hilux off the backboard, looking for a teammate. Tim Tam off to the side here. West Falcons the one pushing downfield. Looking for a teammate, perhaps Tim Tam on the shot, but Fort Hilux is there. Pop it off to the side. Chase with the shot, follow up. Tim Tam here as Queens keep putting on pressure, looking for a goal. I get one to their name. Downfield center, Sfaulcon turns, pops towards net, but Fort Hilux is there for it.
That was the one. That was one they needed just to give themselves a chance in the final 30 seconds. This gun's going to drop down. So awkward to deal with, thankfully, for Queens off the post. I don't know if it'll matter in the grand scheme of things. They're still in their own half with 15 seconds left. If they don't score on this next push, then they will have lost it. They've spurned the chance at a sweep here in the final and 4th game. The cracks were there. They were starting to show in game 3, and now they've been completely jammed open by Delta Force. 3-1 victory in this final game. Finally showing up, or did Queens fumble it? That's the biggest question that I've got left on my mind, and I'm sure a lot of people do watching at home. This was an opportunity to spill some blood here from Critical Force's point of view, Queen's Force point of view even, and make Critical Force look a lot weaker. I mean, they have already, just based on the fact that they've won the series, but if this was a full-on sweep on stream, my goodness, it would blow it wide open at the top of the table for the Elite Division in Ignis. But as a result, it will be 3-1 victory to Queens. Enjoy your channel points if you voted for the underdog at the beginning of this series. But I honestly feel like they're going to feel hard done by, and they're going to feel like this was a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it does feel like Queens kind of dropped the ball there. You know, Delta Force started to really get picked up and going when You know, Sfaulcon just didn't quite fit into the flow like Clever Rabbit did. And I mean, maybe, you know, there was something on behind the scenes where Clever Rabbit just couldn't continue, scheduling or PC or something like that. You never know. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, still 3-1 is a great showing there, and shutting them out for 2 of those games against the high scoring, team in the league is a fantastic thing. So, I mean, honestly, still a big dub today for Queens.
Without a doubt, and great for their position in the league table. Of course, Swift was just below them before the start of the series, 2 games. Now, of course, they are 5 games below them. So they put themselves in a decent spot going forward into the next week. As you can see here, the series MVP will be Chase. Only 2 goals, 6 saves and 5 assists. Has been, it seemed like a massive facilitator throughout this entire series. 8 demos, though. Absolutely ridiculous on that side of the field. And just getting in Delta Force's faces, just keeping them dead. I mean, keeping their chassis completely scorched throughout that series, especially in the first 2 games. Unfortunately, fell apart for them by the end, but a win is a win is a win, and they will be happy about that, no doubt indeed. As we see the post-series stats here, 32 shots to 23, 10 goals to 5, 16 to 12, relatively the same, except from demos, 18 to 6. That seemed to be the winning formula for them.
Yeah, crazy stuff here. Demos, yeah, I mean, if you can't play the game, how are you going to win? So, I mean, Queens, great job. Great connections there in the first half of the series. Back half, you know, looked a little loose with that sub there, but still closed out a good series. Delta Force looking a lot shakier now going into at the end of the season here.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify it and say I'm not saying Sfaulcon's bad. I'm not saying it doesn't fit in the team. I just think it was a risky decision to make halfway through a series on stream. And we can go back to it, and you mentioned it already, of course. Clever Rabbit could be any number of reasons that he wasn't able to continue the series. It may just be the fact that they wanted to bring in another player anyway. But if that was the case, I think it was a detriment to them personally. And maybe that's something that they will consider going forward. But as I said before, victory is victory. And I'm sure you'll agree on that front, Bromeo, as we are back with our wonderful host. Strange series, unexpected result, but entertaining nonetheless.
I mean, that was a shutout from the beginning, so well done to Critical Force for pulling in one towards the end. I see that they substituted in Sfaulcon, towards the end, so that explains the dip in performance. But, sorry, I know he's watching. But yes, that probably is why. But very well done to Dynasty. It is a very good result for them, and it was a good game to watch.
It certainly was, and I obviously we enjoyed it, as we talked about before. Sort of an underdog story in that regard, 7th versus 2nd, but kept harping on about it. It's not necessarily a clear indication of how good a team is based on the league position, especially in SSA. But you only play 1 series a week, so it's hard to show what you're actually capable of. But here on stream, they got swept last week. They've proved that they're very much not done and dusted already at this point of the season. Very secure in mid-table at this point now, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do continuing going forward. But I think it's more interesting what it does to the top of the table. Delta Force were not able to get back up to provisional first as a result of this series, and that should make things very fascinating as we go into the 6th week.
Well, fascinating indeed. And Zek, your foray back into sub-Saharan Africa at the end of casting those 2 fixtures, how'd you feel?
Absolutely fantastic. It's great gameplay. I love to see it. Just some of the great plays here, the passing, the communication, and just the individual pop-offs as well. SSA has got a great pool of talents, and I can't wait to see who the next players are that will step up into that RLCS stage as well. Who's going to make it maybe from here even up to those big teams, maybe up to like Limitless and whatnot. But we'll have to wait and see. But it is an absolute blast to be here, absolute blast to cast these players. And so, of course, hugely thankful I get to be here with all you guys.
Well, Zek, Vector, we're going to head to our interview, but this is the last we will be seeing you 2 faces this evening. So thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully see you next week.
Thanks for having us.
See you around.
All right, and we have our last interview for the evening. The man of the hour, Chase himself. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
And you sound rather subdued after having such a commanding performance there.
Yeah, I have short-term memory loss. I don't know how much I'm going to actually be able to comment on it.
Well, let me just take it through for a second. You were given Series MVP, having scored 2 goals, getting 5 assists, 6 saves, and 8 demos. That was a pretty good all-round performance. So what's your biggest recollection from your short term, at least?
I was just trying to go fast, I guess. Yeah.
Man was wanting to go fast. So how did you find the game? Did you find it difficult? Did you find it intense?
Yeah, the energy in the whole team was pretty high. Comms were good, so it felt good. The intensity was high. I think that's why we were playing quite well. The energy was high.
You guys played well indeed, winning 3 out of your 4 matches in that series. And now I'm just going to go to the chat quickly because I before each and every game, each and every interview, I ask chat if they want to ask you anything. And here's the first question. Clever Rabbit asks, who was the best player on Critical Force?
Nah, he missed cooking that question because I just told them I don't even know if I'm going to remember who was on the team. But I think Ford Hylax was the one that I was most concerned about when going for challenges in the air.
He is a rather mechie player. And moving on to the next questions. Let's have a look here. Popcorn asks, how did you prepare for this game?
Launched the game, did some warm-up. You know, play
Casual
every now and then. Sometimes play well, sometimes play bad, you know. Average Rocket League grind. Nothing special. So
word to Critical Force, if you want to beat Chase, you've just got to actually switch on your screen and play the game. Words from him. And just moving on to the next question. And this will be the last one. Dogman asks, what do you think about the prospect team? Your prospect team?
You're asking the wrong person. I don't really follow the league other than my own games. But we did scrim them the other day, and it was stronger than I was expecting. Or was that the rival? See, I'm really the wrong person.
So Dogman, just know that even though you are in the prospect team, he doesn't know you. He doesn't care. He is an elite player. He is an elite player. But Chase, any passing thoughts? Anything you want to say from that game other than well played?
Nah, not really. I think it was just a fun game, fun series, and yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Chase, and well done, GG's, and hopefully see you again on stream.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
And there you have it. That is leading us into the wrap-up of our Week 5 broadcast. Here we are, halfway through the season. And what a season it has been so far. Just having a look at the games we played this evening, just so you can remember and go away refreshed. We started off the evening with DSQ Merim versus XP Devourers. That was in the Master tier. Then we moved on to Jokers versus Accelerate in Prospect. That was a 3-1. And then straight onto the Elite tier with Shadow Darkness versus Order of Okes Rawlers. Darkness winning out 3-1. And the game you just watched, DSQ Queens, Dynasty Queens, my apologies, versus Critical Force, Delta Force, and Queens coming out 3-1 victors. So immensely well played to all the teams tonight, and we didn't see a single sweep, so that was fantastic. And before we cut off, just remember the reason why Greybeard wasn't here today is because he is saving his energy for the 12-hour stream starting at 6 p.m. tomorrow, where we are going to attempt to break all records with the Mythic Challenge. And let's pull that up so you can see where we are currently and what we need to work towards. As you can see, PC Game Pass Call of Duty is now sitting, whoa, what's this, 1,600 points ahead, and that is a fair distance. So if you want Rocket League to have a 20k Mythic tournament, join Greybeard tomorrow with these games, because every single player who plays under the banner of House Red Dragon and plays any of the game modes that they will be playing tomorrow night will earn points towards this. And at the end of it all, the house with the highest amount of points gets the 20k tournament. So please, cannot stress this enough. Join it, get involved, do it for the community, because we all need more tournaments. So moving on, lastly, I just want to thank, let me, before I thank people, remind you that on Saturday we are hosting our RSC mid-season tournament. It is called the RSC Rebellion, and just in case you didn't know, it is 3 of our conglomerated franchises: Brodonite making up Dynasty, UnitOx Bro, Bomb Squad, XP, Esports, Order of Okes, Critical Force, Fort Templar, and the Alliance, comprised of Redirect, DSQ, and Shadow, taking on the Insurgent Free Agents made up of rejects and replacements. So be sure to be there, and good luck to everybody who was selected to represent those teams. It is going to be an absolute cracker. And now we get to thank everybody for the reasons why we are here. Nixa, thank you for sponsoring the prize pool, 18,000 Rand. And of course, Genisus Extreme for putting together such a fantastic stream. They do not get enough credit. They work incredibly hard behind the scenes, and none of this would be possible without them. So, just last one thing is merch. I will post the link again in chat. Every single shirt sold goes straight back into RSC to make this a better experience for you all, whether it's possibly hosting a LAN one day, whether it is putting it towards prize pool. Get this cool shirt. It supports your community. And I think, unless production has anything for more, I think that is us. So thank you for myself, Bromeo, and everybody else who joined us tonight. Rhino and Lolly earlier, and Vector and Zektek who just casted with us earlier. And of course, Deploy, our producer in the background, absolutely immense. And our game admin, Heinz Chen, just so you know that this truly is an effort. And thank you so much for watching. We will be back. We will have that podcast possibly Sunday, Monday, depending on how that Twitter poll goes. And you will see us again next Thursday for week 6 action. So make sure to stick around. We will be raiding a SSA channel. But else from that, myself, Bromeo, I'll see you guys next week. And what a shot from Kirica, taking that off the ceiling, underneath the ball, and straight down the middle.
Oh, there it is! Out of the blue!
2 seconds left on the clock, and the Joker finds something out of nothing.
Now, that pass from Shadow was immaculate, playing it straight down center. Hecky just had to get a touch, and it's all he needed.
Sonic has a chance at an open net if he sees it. Looking for the shot downfield, goes into the corner, Kilogram! He gets the goal!
They're just in front of the net. Nuke barely keeps it out there, dies on the goal line. The long shot, it finds it through. Into Z, gonna pick it up.